just a few minutes, the Blue Dragons will play an awfully significant football game. I say very significant because the Blue Dragons are 6-1 overall. They are atop the race in the Jayhawk Conference, although Garden City right on their heels, also unbeaten in league play. But the Blue Dragons, well, they have higher aspirations than that. They are ranked number 4 in the national polls. Were they to move up to the number 2 spot before the season is over, they would probably get a chance to play for a national championship. But to do that, they can't afford any slip-ups. And the Blue Dragons, after playing most of their original 7 games at home, as a matter of fact, 5 of 7, now have consecutive tests on the road. And make no mistake about Coffeyville's Red Ravens, their 2-4 record. In the pregame, you heard Coach say that's really misleading. It is indeed, although the Blue Dragons have had a lot of success against Coffeyville in the last 10 meetings. They've won 9 of the meetings between these two teams. Can't afford a slip-up, Darren Dunn.
This is the time where you have to be at your best, and even though you look at a team that's 2-4, Coach is exactly right. You have to take care of you and do what you know is best. Out in these games, these are the games where it's the easiest to kind of slip up. You start going on the road, you've flipped fortunes. The Blue Dragons, only 2 of their first 7 games were on the road. It's a literal homecoming here for the Red Ravens tonight. Only 2 of their first games were at home and have not been home since September 8th.
So a test for the Blue Dragons, and Glenn Grunwald, just a terrific night for football. Temperature going to be in the low 50s. There is absolutely no wind.
Absolutely no wind. And when's the last time in Kansas you saw that? I looked at my weather and bug, and no wind whatsoever. 0. 54 degrees game time temperature, going to get down to about 50. It is a perfect night for football.
And you got a gentleman down there on the sidelines keeping you on the straight and narrow tonight.
Yeah, Randy McKay helping me. He's going to fill in next week. Randy, a perfect night.
I'll tell you what, you can't ask for much better on a Kansas October night.
Exactly, 54 degrees. And by the way, there's some pink hues in the clouds to the northwest as the sun is setting. And I think the rain they were saying could happen is gone long. It won't be here till tomorrow.
Every indication is we should have a good one. The weather will cooperate. We might, as you said, get some weather tomorrow, but we'll have this one over long before that. Blue Dragon fans obviously rooting, for victory number 7 in 8 tries. We'll see how that plays out after we take a 2-minute break for these friends of Hutchinson Community College.
At Strategic Financial Concepts, we have a process that we take you through to give you the knowledge and control of your finances that you may have never been exposed to. The process educates and helps simplify financial decisions and helps you protect your wealth. We equip people to make effective financial decisions. Let's have a cup of coffee and a conversation. Call me, Jay Pitzer, at 960-0749. Securities offered through the ON Equity Sales Company, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through ON Investment Management Company.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustomBLDG.com.
The toss of the coin was won by the homestanding Coffeyville Red Ravens. They deferred their option to the beginning of the second half, which means that Hutchinson will take the football. Wind not a factor. This is a stadium that runs north-south. Usually you would take the goal, keeping the south to your back to take advantage of the wind, but there is, as we pointed out, absolutely no breeze. But the Dragons, nevertheless, will work right to left, south to north as you listen. If you were with us during the pregame, you heard the crew talk about some of the exciting games we played against the Coffeyville Red Ravens. Hutch has won 9 out of 10, but have had a struggle here in Veterans Memorial Stadium. They've gotten some wins of late, but they have not, for the most part, been very easy to come by. Officials split. We are about 40 seconds away from the kickoff. I want to take this opportunity. I was not able to be at the high school game last night. First one I've missed since I can't remember when. But listen to Glenn and Dan do a great job of that call, and congratulations to the Salthawks and to head coach Mike Vernon for that win over Salina South. 44-24, I believe, was the final. All right.
Yeah, 45-24.
All right, thank you, Glenn. All right, the Blue Dragons decked out in white and red, Coffeyville in white and red. Little tiny bit confusing. Their Dragons are wearing white jerseys, red pants, and Coffeyville's wearing red jerseys, white pants, both teams with white helmets. And we are seconds away from getting this one going. Blue Dragons, well, they'll be in Dodge City next Saturday. That's an unusual start time. We'll start at 1 o'clock out in the Cowboy Capital. Then a week off, and then the big game against unbeaten, at least so far, unbeaten Garden City. And here comes the kickoff, and it is down the middle of the field, actually taken sort of toward the left sideline by the Blue Dragons, and a decent return out to about the 22, 23-yard line. That ball brought back out by Greg Bolus. And the Blue Dragons will open festivities from the 23-yard line. Hutchinson quarterback, well, what a job has been done by Mason Shucker. Completing a little bit over 50% of his passes. He's thrown for better than 1,200 yards, and he has been Mr. Efficiency. Deploys a couple of wideouts to the right side and operates out of the shotgun with Des Jackson, the Dragons' leading rusher, on his right hip. Man in motion across the formation, and they throw it backwards. The catch is made, and a little bit of a spin move by the receiver. Not a whole lot gained by Isaiah Salam, maybe a yard. And that'll actually go down as rushing yardage because the ball clearly was thrown backwards.
So technically the first carry of the season for Isaiah Salam.
And they say no gain on the play, so let's make it 2nd down and 10. Same formation, but this time the two wideouts flip to the left side of the field. Shucker takes the snap, drops back, wants to throw, pressure comes, trying to set up a little screen pass, and he throws it out of the reach of Bolus. Incomplete. And so the Dragons in danger of going 3 and out on their first set of downs.
Blue Dragons have worked in a couple of guys early here in the first 2 plays that have not gotten many touches for this offense all season long.
3rd and 10. Big moment early in the game. The Blue Dragons, for the most part, have been a team that starts quickly. They have outscored opponents by a bunch in the first 2 quarters. Man in motion across the formation. Back to throw. Shucker delivers it over the middle, and it is high. Threw it just out of the reach of his intended receiver, Jalen Irwin, out across the 30-yard line. Would have been a first down, but an inauspicious beginning for Hutchinson on its first possession.
Set up in a great spot. Defense well behind him, and you were right. He was 2 or 3 yards beyond the sticks, so all he has to do is make the catch, but it was nowhere in his zip code.
Back deep is Nicholas Hernandez for Coffeyville's Red Ravens. Blue Dragons will have to punt it out of there. Matt Jones did a tremendous job of punting in the win last Saturday over Highland. He stands back inside his 10, gets a perfect snap, gets off a kind of a low kick that will take a Hutchinson bounce. There's not going to be any return on this as it rolls almost laterally across the field and finally will roll dead at the 25-yard line of Coffeyville. So the Dragons start from their own 23 on their first set of downs. Coffeyville starts from the 25. Guys, this is a Coffeyville team that's got a pretty good mix of run-pass. They have been particularly effective throwing long, and they've got some solid running backs. The quarterback is Carson Proctor. He's a big kid, 6'4", 210, out of Vero Beach, Florida. He operates out of the shotgun, loads it up, and almost throws a pick. Boy, it was right in the hands of Blue Dragon defender Latavian Beaton, who has 4 interceptions already. That would have been a pick 6.
Leads the team with those 4. Give him now his 8th breakup. Only got one hand up there on the ball. If he goes at it with 2, perhaps he has a better shot of bringing it down.
Carson Proctor looks at second down and 10. Sends 2 wideouts left, 1 right. Actually 3 wideouts now to the left, 1 to the right. Single running back with him. Moves up, says something to his center. Now ready to take the snap from the shotgun. And hands off. And the Blue Dragons have been tough against the run, and they continue to be. Not much on the second down carry. Ball carrier was Deshaun Massey. He's approaching 400 yards rushing on the season, but got just 2 there, leaving a third down and 8.
This is where the Red Ravens have really struggled this season, is converting those third downs, a 23% conversion rate, worst in the league.
2 wideouts each side. Ball on the right hash mark. Carson Proctor sends a man in motion, left to right. Looks, throws upfield, and it is too tall. Well, I tell you what, incomplete pass overthrown. Just almost a carbon copy of the Blue Dragons' possession.
It really was. The only difference is intended receiver Kendrick Jones fell down before the ball ever got there, so we won't really know how close it might have been had he been still on his feet.
And the Blue Dragons will send back Jalen Irwin. The punter is Nathan Malock. He stands at his 13-yard line, gets off a pretty punt. Now topples down, and big scramble for it. And I had to hesitate a little bit. I wasn't sure that it wasn't touched by Dragon.
And it was. The officials have given it to Coffeyville off of the touch by the Blue Dragons.
Yeah, sure are.
Boy, the Dragons have really struggled in punting situations. First of all, they haven't handled very many of them. Secondly, they've made a couple of mistakes like that one. And as a result, Coffeyville will have great field position at the Hutchinson 45-yard line.
Situation where you just kind of outrun the coverage of the punt there, and it ends up bouncing up around the ankles.
All right. And they go with a run on first down. Nice spin move. Gets to the second level and down to the 40-yard line for a gain of 5.
May see a little guy, only 5'5", guys, but he's got some speed.
Deshaun Massey from Apopka, Florida. Got him a little bit better than 5. Let's call it closer to 6. Carson Proctor at the Hutchinson 39-yard line. First time either of these teams has been in the other's territory. Proctor drops back, gets chased, gets grabbed around the ankles, and gets dumped back at the 48-yard line. That's a loss of 7 or 8.
Yeah, Clarence Hicks comes in to make the stop. Monty Montgomery's shaking up a little bit. He's going to be a 10-2 stoppage of play.
He got cut in the backfield. I'm surprised we didn't see a flag on that because his legs were taken out from underneath him as he came in full speed to that backfield.
Now he's walking off. I think he will be all right. Yeah, I think the stoppage is going to be really brief, so we'll keep it right here.
Hicks continues to do a good job. That defensive line spot, has a lot of sacks this year.
Yeah, 7 to be exact, leads the team in that category and also the category of tackles for loss. Next man behind him in both categories, he has twice as many in both of those sections.
Jackson Meat bringing you Glenn's comments from down on the sideline, as they have throughout this football campaign. Proctor in the gun, drops back, two-step drop, unloads, throws it upfield, and actually throws it out of bounds on the left side. Nobody had a chance at it at the 25-yard line. It is 4th down, and the Blue Dragon defense does what it needs to do. Coffeyville gets a break with the muff punt by the Blue Dragons, and the Dragon defense, tough, keeps them from doing anything. Now we'll see if the Dragons can handle this punt a little bit more capably. Nathan Maylock, the punter, gets it off, kicks it away from Irwin, and he's going to watch it bounce. And fortunately for Hutchinson, it bounces upfield and rolls dead at the 10-yard line. I continue, Glenn, to be astounded at the number of times the Dragons are not able to return the punt.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Irwin sometimes backs away. That's a situation where you get on the 10 and see what's going to happen, but we certainly have let a lot of them bounce away. We'll see what happens here.
That's the perfect punt because it died right where it landed. 3rd one put inside the 20 for Maylock this season.
So the Blue Dragons, again, saddled with less than desirable field position, but a scoreless football game. The Dragons have it at their own 10-yard line. And they'll go with a run and break it to the outside to the 10, 20, 30, 40. Down the sideline for the Blue Dragons. That's Des Jackson. And they will not catch him. 90 yards, Des Jackson.
Boy, has he been a player the last couple of weeks or what? He got it done last week against Highland when he needed to, and right there he took it to the house.
It just looked like a simple play to the left side, well blocked, and all of a sudden he was loose, and that's the best run of the season, perhaps, at least in terms of total yardage by a Blue Dragon.
In his 3 games that he's racked up over 100 yards on the year, he's had runs of 44-plus. Make this a game where easily he'll go over 100 as he gets 90 in one chunk.
All right, Blue Dragons on to add the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Nice job by Blue Dragon kicker Sebastian Garcia. Hutchinson leads it 7-0. 11:40 to play in period number 1. Let's take a break.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Glenn, you made a comment that Jalen Irwin threw a heck of a block to help spring.
He really did.
Yes,
once he turned the corner, got on the edge, it was off to the races. Once the guy had the angle on him, and he couldn't catch up with him.
Yeah, Des Jackson, the beneficiary of that block, and a 90-yard scamper to put the Dragons on top.
Irwin had the outside pinned, and Watson had that inside part blocked off to kind of bookend the blocks and open up the space for Jackson.
Now Sebastian Garcia kicks. And the kick will float down in the end zone and will not be returned. Touchback in a college game brings it to the 25-yard line. And it is there that the Red Ravens will get officially their 3rd possession of the football game. Got a big break, didn't capitalize it on their 2nd possession. All right, Hutchinson turns the job over to a defense that has been terrific. This run defense in particular has just been astoundingly good. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Carson Proctor waits the snap from the gun. Hands off. Blue Dragons snuff it after a gain of about 3. Ball carrier for Coffeyville was Monte Thomas. Now, Monte Thomas better than 300 rushing yards. They've got a trio of very capable runners, but obviously the Blue Dragons can do them better in that category. 2nd down, 7. Proctor claps his hands. This time the 2 wideouts are to the left. Proctor finally ready. Takes the snap, hands off, and Coffeyville gets to the edge, to the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. It's a foot race, and the Dragons will drag Monte Thomas down, but not before he takes it all the way to the 24-yard line of the Blue Dragons. That is a 49-yard run.
Great job by Caleb Bryce tracking that one down, and you may get a little yardage come off of this at the end for an illegal block down the field.
There is a flag resting at the 30-yard line. Well, both teams getting big runs around the outside early in this football game. It remains to be seen how much of that 49 yards Coffeyville will maintain.
So they'll say at the end of that play there was no foul for illegal block in the back. It's one of those makes you wonder what the official saw to make him drop the flag on the field, but they'll promptly pick it up.
So Coffeyville trying to come back and quickly answer the Blue Dragon score with one of their own in a pretty good spot at the Hutchinson 24-yard line. Andre Thomas Cobb deploys out to the left side along with Kendrick Jones. Cobb is a big play receiver, averages almost 40 yards a catch for the Dragons, or rather for Coffeyville. There's a run up the middle and a big hole down to the 15-yard line. Hoffman on the carry for Coffeyville gets 8 on first down. And Coffeyville has it at the Hutchinson 16-yard line. Just under 10 minutes to play in the first quarter. Proctor from the gun. Takes the snap, hands off, hole on the left side is closed by the Dragons, but not before a first down run of 4 yards. So Coffeyville continues to mix it up nicely.
Only the 5th time this season the Red Ravens have been in the red zone, and Hopkins on the season just under 3 yards per carry. He's showing more than that, more desire here in this game.
So at the 13-yard line of Hutchinson, first down Coffeyville. Dragons lead it 7-0. Des Jackson a 90-yard touchdown run. Coffeyville goes back to the run. This time the Dragons cut it down right at the line of scrimmage. Virtually no gain.
Walthauer had a good shot at him at first, couldn't cleanly wrap him up, had some help to finish off that tackle.
So we'll call it a pickup of 1, bringing up a second down. Deshaun Massey back out there for Coffeyville. He has been their most productive back. 2 wideouts to the right side. Blue Dragon defense trying to keep Coffeyville out of the end zone and maintain at least some of that 7-point advantage. Proctor being chased. Proctor in trouble. Proctor downed back at the 22-yard line.
And guess who got it started? It was Hicks, as Glenn was jumping in to tell us.
Yeah, Hicks is really active back there. Had him and just wanted to throw him to the turf. Others came in to finish him off.
So now it is 3rd down and 19 for Coffeyville's Red Ravens. They don't have much of a field goal team, so this may be 4-down territory. We shall see.
I'd agree with you. 1 for 3 in the kicking game this year so far, and they've had trouble knocking in the extra points as well.
Proctor, as pressure comes and a flag blows the play dead.
Should have a false start on Coffeyville.
Officials will confer briefly.
Flag came on that near side, closer to you guys. False start.
So that will back it up to the 26-yard line. Have to get to the almost the 2-yard line for a first down. So 3rd down, getting close to 24 yards to go at the Hutchinson 26-yard line. Each team has had one big play. The Dragons went for a touchdown. And that's the only points on the scoreboard. Proctor finally has his troop set. Has a couple of wideouts to each side. Drops back, wants to throw. Throws it in the middle of the field, complete at the 15-yard line. But nowhere to go after the catch. Kendrick Jones made the catch. Dragon defender was right on top of him. That was
Art Green.
Yep.
And when you talked about it being 4-down territory, even though it looks like they're sitting the kicker out there, Sorry, they're not. They are going for the fourth down. They got half of what they needed, so that puts them in great position to try and convert what would be just their 13th conversion this year on third down.
Fourth down and 12. Football at the 15-yard line. Dragons threatening blitz. Here comes pressure up the middle. And no chance whatsoever for Proctor. He is down back at the 22, 23-yard line. Dragons just came in mass right up the middle.
Caleb Bryce gets his 5th tackle for loss on the year and officially his first full sack as he has 1.5 on the year.
And the Dragons turned the threat away after the long run for Coffeyville. Took it down to the 24-yard line. Coffeyville comes away empty. And the Dragons take over with 7 minutes to play in the first quarter, leading 7-0.
Running back Bolus into the ballgame for Hutchinson.
He stands to the left of quarterback Mason Shucker, who claps his hands, takes the snap, gives it to Bolus. Bolus with a hole up the middle, and then it is closed up pretty quickly, but not before Bolus is all the way out to the 29-yard line. That is 6 on first down. That is a very productive beginning to a series of downs. Dragons trying to improve on what is early on a 7-0 lead. Hutchinson has won 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two schools, but the overall series pretty lopsided in Coffeyville's favor. Shucker takes the snap, hands off. Dragons find a hole on the left side, get a first down, and just keep plowing. Bolus with a strong run, carrying people with him all the way out to the 39-yard line. That's another Hutchinson first down. Blue Dragon offensive line, Glenn, is winning the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they really are blowing off nicely. Bolus, we remember a few games back, he was pretty strong, got stronger as the game progressed. But Jackson's over here on the bench. He's okay. They're just giving him a rest.
All right, at the 39-yard line, their half of the field. Dragons with a new series. And they'll go back to the run. And again, the Dragons work the edge and get run out of bounds, but not before another gain of 5 yards for Drake Bolus to the 44.
Same type of play you saw from Jackson. That time, though, linebacker for the Red Ravens, Kevin Norris, sniffed it out. Shows why he leads this team not only in tackles, but solo tackles on the year as he gets this 31st.
All right, Blue Dragons on 2nd down and 5. Couple wideouts to the right side. Dragons have done most of their damage running the football. Shucker takes the snap, throws it over the middle, complete at the 48-yard line, and out across midfield by perhaps half a step with the catch is Jalik Jagway. He's second on the team in catches on the season.
They're all for those short little gains there in the middle, kind of that slot receiver position he gives you to kind of dink and dunk on the inside. Averages just under 7 per catch.
Jagway kind of acted like his feet might have slipped a little bit, so might be a little wet down here, kind of not precipitation, but just a little damp.
Turf here is a little bit faded. I'm not sure that this turf might not be getting close to the end of its effective life. Artificial turf here in what is certainly an outstanding facility. Blue Dragons try to get something on the run on first down and get pushed backwards for no gain.
Now, turf life is usually 7 years, and I remember when it really was badly faded a few years ago. I think they have replaced it, but it could be 6 or 7 years, Rusty. You're right.
That was Bolus on the carry, and after being effective on the 3 carries right before that time no gain. 2nd down 10, right at midfield. Hutchinson with 4 minutes and change remaining in the first quarter on top 7-0. Shucker with time, stays in the pocket, throws it out to the flat. It pops up in the air, and it's intercepted. Intercepted at the 38-yard line by Coffeyville's Red Ravens, and they bring it all the way back to the Hutchinson 42-yard line. Ball bounced off the fingertips of a Dragon receiver.
Went off Cephas Smith. He ran into one of the other defensive backs. It wasn't a pass interference situation, just a situation where that defender was sitting in his path. And when it bounced off that defender's shoulder pads, Troy Simon found his 3rd interception of the year.
So the Blue Dragon defense, that has been very effective all year long, back out there. And once again, this is the third time in this first quarter, Coffeyville finds itself in Dragon country. And they try to set up a draw play, nothing doing. Dragons are on top of. Just tremendous job of run defense all season long. Monte Thomas didn't have anywhere to go. He loses 3. Glenn, you just can't say enough about this Hutchinson defense.
No, and that was Relaford that came up and got a nice stop right there, and kind of a backup linebacker.
All right, second down 13 at the Hutchinson 46. Coffeyville trailing 7-0. Proctor pumps once, rolls to his left, creates some space, throws long, and it is broken up at the 2-yard line. Boy,
Clemens, great position. Played the hands and knocked it away.
They were trying to go to Andre Thomas Cobb. He's been their big play receiver all season long. He can't make the catch inside the 5.
Clemens got there just as the ball did, leads this team with 10 breakups on the season.
So it is a third down and 13 at the Hutchinson 46-yard line. Carson Proctor takes a couple of steps back, running back on his left hip. Probable pass situation. Dragons don't put a lot of pressure on now. Proctor being chased. Finds a little bit of time, flips it upfield, and it falls incomplete at the 25-yard line. Fourth down coming up. Well, the Dragons didn't really have a blitz coming. They just simply broke through the defenses and chased Carson Proctor all the way to the sideline. He finally threw one upfield. Nobody could get to it. All right.
Different Blue Dragon back to receive this guy. It's going to be Tinsley. Mitchell Tinsley out of Lee Summit, Missouri.
We saw him a couple times against Highland.
The Dragons keep trying to find somebody that will field punts. This is not a particularly good punt. And the Dragons just get out of the way, and it takes a Coffeyville bounce. It goes out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So the Dragons will find themselves pinned back again. Looks like they're going to spot it right at the 13-yard line. 2:54 remains in the first quarter. Rusty Hills, Darren Dunn, and Glenn Grunwald with you on Eagle Radio Sports from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Coffeyville. 7-0 football game. Hutch with the advantage.
Desmond Jackson back into the backfield. Last time the Blue Dragons were backed up here. Turned out pretty nicely.
Yeah, from very nearly this same spot on the field. Went around the left side for 90, and the game's only points. Won't get a chance here. Dragons try to set up the screen. Set up perfectly. Caught at the 15-yard line and out to the 16, 17-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, which is all right on first down.
Yeah, that was snipped out nicely by Chris Lewis. He's a sophomore deep back out of Alabaster, Alabama, and he kind of came from behind and caught up with Irvin. Otherwise, he had some pretty good blocking downfield.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go for a little bit more than it wound up producing. But nevertheless, you'll take 4 on first down just about any time. Shucker, ready. Trio of receivers to the left side. Triangle set. Single wide out to the right. Shucker looks left, throws right, and it is just out of the reach of Jalen Irwin. It'll be third down and 6.
This is where opponents have been so good against the Red Ravens all season long. Most of their opponents have had a third down conversion rate of almost 43%.
Matt Jones comes into the game. He'll set up as a tight end on the right side.
End, yeah.
Dragons need a big play to maintain the football. Shucker, hands off. Jackson powers forward, does not get the first down, got a couple. They needed 6, and it'll be fourth down and likely punt time for the Blue Dragons as the clock moves inside the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. So, the Blue Dragons, with the lead in this game, it was certainly not a sustained drive. It was a 90-yard run by Des Jackson. Gains only points. Coffeyville has been in Dragon country 3 or 4 times. Dragon defense has rejected all efforts at getting into the end zone. That Jones punt, it is high. It is pretty. And a fair catch signal then made at the 46-yard line for the Red Ravens. So Coffeyville starts there. Guys, Coffeyville's had outstanding field position here in the first quarter. Just hadn't been able to produce any points.
Yeah, even got down into the red zone where this team has struggled this year. Only been there 4 times before this game and had only converted twice. Already 0 for 1 tonight because when they get in those positions, they start moving the wrong direction. And give credit to the Blue Dragons for that, pushing this offense back, just kind of like this defense did against Highlands a week ago.
The Hutchinson defense, probably national championship quality. Proctor wants to throw, unloads, and has his man at the 40-yard line of Hutchinson for a first down. It is a gain of 14 with the first down throw.
Beautiful deep curl route by Eric Tolliver. He had Art Green kind of turned around. Green was wanting to keep going down the field as if that post pattern was going to be run. Instead, he turned around and sat down on the numbers.
They spotted at the Hutchinson 39-yard line. Proctor, this time hands off, and the Dragons, equal to the task, contain Monte Thomas to a gain of 3. Let's see, they may say his knee touched. Yeah, his knee touched after a gain of only a yard. So it'll be second down and 9. Football at the 38 of the Blue Dragons. Inside a minute to play in period number 1. Another handoff and hole up the middle. And a first down, maybe. Yeah, great effort on the part of Coffeyville right there as Marco Lee, who is their 3rd leading rusher, got hit short of the first down, bounced off, got to the right side, kept his legs moving, and picks up a first down at the Hutchinson 28.
You mentioned the 3 backs for the Red Ravens coming into this game. He is the 3rd one that has over 243 yards on the season.
And this time the quarterback not going to get a chance to get rid of it. He wanted to throw left, ran out of time, and gets a dump. That's at least the 3rd sack in the game by the Blue Dragons. And that will back the ball out to the 34-yard line. A loss of about 6.
Ramsey and Hicks playing meet you at the quarterback.
And that is the end of the first quarter. It has been a little bit of a defensive struggle. Hutchinson leads at 7-0. We'll return in 1 minute with period
Parking lots
number
and
2.
driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
So it is a 2nd and 16 for the Red Ravens at the Hutchinson 34-yard line as we start the second quarter. Dragons on a 90-yard run lead this game 7-0. Quarterback Proctor throws quickly, completes it on the left side, and a great tackle in the open field by Blue Dragon defender prevents much of a gain at all. Just a little quick out to the left side for Coffeyville. The ball put in the hands of Nicholas Hernandez, right on top of it for Hutchinson. Number 4, how many great plays has he made defensively for the Blue Dragons this year? And we, of course, are talking about Kelvin Clemens.
And he had to make that tackle because if he misses, there's plenty of room to run toward the red zone and the goal line.
Yeah, they had one-on-one coverage, That's when you need to make a play. Third down and about 12. Go with the run. Dragons miss a tackle. Another missed tackle. And Coffeyville able to get down to about the 23-yard line. That was Marco Lee again on the carry. But it is fourth down, still almost 5 yards to go for the Red Ravens. And as we pointed out, they have had no success whatsoever with field goal attempts. They'll go for it, and they'll go quickly. Dragons threatening blitz, and now the Ravens slow it down. Quarterback looks toward the sideline. Carson Proctor by name. He is ready. Dragon defense is set. 2 wideouts right, 1 left. Dragons threatening blitz. And the ball thrown over the middle, and it is caught for a first down inside the 15-yard line. A beautiful throw right over the middle.
It's Eric. I was going to say Eric Tulliver, but they said Harrison.
Harrison, I think.
Harrison, the tight end.
So they move the chains to the 13-yard line. Coffeyville trying to get this game tied. Blue Dragons, with the exception of that one long run by Des Jackson, have not been effective at moving the football. Coffeyville goes with a simple handoff, and the Dragons turn it away at the 15-yard line. It'll be virtually no gain on the play, maybe even a loss, depending on where they spot it. They'll put it down at the 14.
Again, an opportunity in the red zone where the Red Ravens are already moving backward.
Marco Lee continues to be the running back. And there's a flag thrown as the quarterback rolls left, almost got it to his receiver. Pretty well defended by the Blue Dragons, but we'll check the flag.
Tank Morgan read that one all the way from the backfield as Pipes tried to sneak out.
Good job by Morgan right there. Just timed it just right to knock the ball away. Tell you what, a little while ago when they went to the tight end, that's something I think Hutchinson needs to consider a little bit. Remember the pass to Watson against Butler?
Yep.
It was a wide open, and also, of course, Jones is capable as well. Let's check the flag.
No indication from the officiating crew as yet. Chop block.
Chop block.
That will back them up a bunch. The football at the beginning of that play, resting right at about the 14-yard line. It'll come back close to the 30. They'll spot it at the 29. And Coffeyville has kind of lived in Blue Dragon country this first half, but has no points to show for it. Blue Dragon defense is tough. Offense needs to become a little bit more productive than it has thus far. Carson Proctor looks over at the sideline. Over at Coach Flores. Drops back. Has lots of time this time. Loads it up. Throws it over the middle. And it is out of the back of the end zone. A perfect throw would have resulted in a touchdown, but it was overthrown by a step or so. And it'll be third down and long.
Way too deep for Nicholas Hernandez. Not even the pylon in the back of the end zone had a good chance at that ball. It was way too deep.
Blue Dragon defense trying once again to turn back Coffeyville.
That was a pretty pass, but pretty far out of bounds.
Dragons will settle for that. Another pass play. Another a lot of time. The ball thrown into the end zone and incomplete. No flags come out. It'll be fourth down.
I guess who read that? Kelvin Clemens. He kind of took a chance on that one as Proctor was trying to float it into his favorite receiver, Thomas Cobb. Leaves his team in receiving yards on the year. And if he's not there to swipe at the tail end of that one, it might have been 6.
And I think Coffeyville looking at fourth down in a bunch. We'll wait and see. They may decide to punt the football here.
That looks to be the decision as Maylock comes back out.
So the Blue Dragon defense does its job once again. We have 12 and a half to go. Blue Dragons don't have anybody back deep. Coffeyville will punt it. It's a pretty punt. Red Ravens should be able to down it inside the 5. Got loose. Did he touch anybody? Did he get into the end zone, or is it down at the 1?
They're saying down at the 1, but I thought he came out.
The officials come in and confer.
There's your touchback.
Now they're going to say touchback. I hesitated too because I thought it was in the end zone and then bounced back to the 1.
Yeah, the defensive player came out of the end zone to down it right there, and he didn't establish his position.
Guys, it's time in this game for the Blue Dragon offense to get cranking because other than the one long run by the Blue Dragons, it has been pretty much Coffeyville that's had the football.
Well, and it's been tough for the passing game. Haven't been able to get Shucker going. He's just 2 for 6, and unfortunately, he has to take that one interception, even though it was not really his fault.
So the Dragons will begin at the 20 with a 7-0 lead. Mason Shucker unloads, throws it upfield, and it is too tall at the 39-yard line. Not very well thrown, but a flag does rest on the field.
It was offside on the defense, so the Blue Dragons will still get 5 out of it. Shucker has just been a little bit high on his throws tonight for whatever reason.
What were his passing stats in that first quarter? I didn't look.
2 for 6 with that interception. Make him now 2 for 7.
No, it does become a 1st down and 5 at the 25-yard line. Dragons have had some success running the football. Most notably that one long run of 90. They fake the reverse, fumble it. Dragons pick it up back at the 19-yard line, but it'll go for a big loss of about 5 or 6.
Big-time miscommunication in the backfield as to whether Jackson was going to get the ball or McLean, and when nobody took it, it popped loose.
So the Dragon offense continues to sputter a bit. It is 2nd down and 10. Coffeyville has done a good job of defending the Dragon passing game. Shucker, for the most part, has had time to throw, just hasn't simply gotten it on target. Checks his wrist. Now he's ready to go. Takes the snap. Play action. Rolling to his left, being chased, and dumped inside the 10-yard line. That's one, guys, you got to throw it away. You just got to throw it away. You're outside the box. Throw it out of bounds, and don't lose all that yardage. The Dragons lose a bunch. Down to the 9.
I'm not sure he felt Sam Ryan bearing down on him, and Ryan now has 3.5 sacks on the year.
So the Blue Dragons find themselves looking at a 3rd and long situation. 3rd down and 21. This offense, so far, with the exception of one play, really hasn't gotten off the bus. But Hutchinson does lead because that one play was a big one. 90 by Des Jackson.
Lots of confusion offensively as to where guys are supposed to be. Everyone's checking those play cards, and also questions as to who's supposed to take the handoff.
And the Dragons will take a timeout, so let's take a break.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name-brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
Well, the Dragons must get to the 30-yard line. The ball right now at the 9. It is 3rd down. You're in dangerous territory inside your 10-yard line. Not sure how risky you want to get. Matt Jones has been a good punter, but you keep giving the football to a pretty decent football team in your territory, and sooner or later they're going to bite you.
Neither team has converted in this game on 3rd.
Shucker being chased, sets up the screen, complete to Bolus. He breaks one tackle, can't break another. Got back to the line of scrimmage and no better.
That's the safe play. Try at least to give yourself a little bit of room so you're not punting out of the back of the end zone, but Dragons not able to get enough for Matt Jones, who will have to probably heel up to the out-of-bounds line in the back of the end zone.
Dragon defense, Glenn, might be putting in for overtime. They have been out there all the
They've
first
been out
half.
there a lot right there. Well, go Shuckman kind of remind me of Mahomes against Denver. If he put the ball in his left hand, he might have been able to get rid of it, but he was fearful of putting the ball up with the ball in his right hand.
Punt will come out of the end zone. It's up high. Fair catch signaled and made right at the 39-yard line of Hutchinson. So yet another possession for Coffeyville's Red Ravens will begin in Hutchinson country. Coffeyville has been astoundingly unproductive with points on this side of the field. And if we're being honest about it, we'd have to say that the Blue Dragon offense, with the exception of one play, really has done very little in this game. Coffeyville goes back to work with two wideouts to each side. Proctor hands and a hole up the middle, and a big one it is, and down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line on a quick hitter, Monte Thomas.
Monty Montgomery was the first guy that had a crack at him, and it wasn't even a clean shot, and it came 5 yards into the run.
And a spin move on the line of scrimmage on a running play on first down. That time Monte Thomas will get maybe a half a yard, certainly no more than that. It is second down. Leave it at 10 at the Hutchinson 28-yard line. Again, this team does not have any kind of effectiveness with field goal kicking. So certainly inside the 30 means 4-down territory. Dragon defense has been spectacular so far in the game's first half. And there is a hole up the middle. Broken tackle and loose at the 15. Down to perhaps the 12-yard line. It's Hopkins on the carry. So it is first and goal, Coffeyville.
Coffeyville had been in the red zone 4 times all season long, already the 3rd trip in this game.
Darius Hopkins with a big run on that occasion. Dragon defense trying to be tough. Again, they give to Hopkins. He breaks a tackle and is able to get to about the 9-yard line. Yeah, they're going to say, yeah, let's put it at the 9-yard line. They can get a first down at the 2. Blue Dragons leading 7-0, but that lead is about as precarious as a lead can be right now. Hopkins is the running back. Carson Proctor hands off. Hopkins tries to find a hole, breaks a tackle, and touches a knee at the 5-yard line. They'll spot him down there. 3rd down and 2. Coffeyville doing it right now with the run. Early in the game, Glenn, I thought the Dragon offensive line was controlling the game. Right now, I think it's flipped.
Yeah, Hut's going to call timeout and talk about it. You're exactly right. Coffeyville's blowing off the ball pretty well, and right now momentum is on their side.
And we'll take a break. Ravens threatening 3rd down at the Hutchinson 5-yard line. They need 3. We'll take a break, return in half a minute.
There's National This Month and National That Month. But for women, especially those over 40, this is the important month, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection is crucial, so please schedule a screening appointment soon, then a mammogram if advised by your doctor. All here at Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson. It's our privilege to serve you.
Coffeyville pretty effective on this drive with a run.
Yeah, and not going backwards. Every time this team has gotten into the red zone so far in this game, have immediately gone backwards and actually gaining some positive yardage, getting closer to that chance at a new set of downs with a couple of yards to go if they can convert here. 0 for 3 on 3rd so far.
Darius Hopkins is the running back. They need 3. They give it to Hopkins. He gets 3, gets all the way down to the 1. First and goal, Coffeyville at the Blue Dragon 1-yard line.
Just an impressive push up front for Coffeyville, something we've not really seen teams do against the Blue Dragon front line.
Blue Dragons in a real battle tonight in Coffeyville. Ravens will get 4 cracks at it from the 1-yard line. Hopkins is the running back. He gets the carry. He gets the touchdown. Well, you just can't, as I pointed out, keep giving a good team possession of the football on your half of the field and not get bet. And Coffeyville, after wasting most of its opportunities in the early portion of the game, this time capitalizes and now will try to tie the game. You talked about extra points being an adventure, and we will see what they get done here. Kick is up. It is high enough, and it has tied the game. That time, Nathan Maylock able to knock it through. We're tied at 7. 7:37 to go in the football game. The Dragons will get it on the kickoff in half a minute.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn and Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
Well, Coffeyville ties the game at 7. It was Marco Lee that got the carry. I think I might have said Hopkins, but it was Lee that got it in from a yard away. And they continue. They're having trouble with the scoreboard. Right now it's showing 20-7. And obviously it is 7-7. I don't know whether the officials are going to let them kick off until they get the scoreboard settled. Now it's 27-7.
I don't know that they know how to subtract off the scoreboard. All they know to do is to add. So someone will need to get in there and help. While they're doing that, have to be concerned on that goal line play that Kelvin Clemens was the first guy who had a shot at the running back, Lee. Typically in those situations, we saw those goal line stands against Highland. You've at least got the big body of a lineman in Jaden Cunningham or Clarence Hicks kind of breaking up traffic, but a good push, at least on that drive, by this Red Raven offensive line.
And the officials so far not allowing this game to proceed until the scoreboard gets corrected, and finally it does. 7-7. 7.5 minutes to go. We're right in the middle of the third quarter. And the Blue Dragons getting a challenge from Coffeyville. Let's see if Hutchinson can come up with some decent field position. Kick is returnable, taken at the 13-yard line, brought out to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, and into the open at the 40 and out across the 50 and down to the 45-yard line. It was a slow move upfield, but Drake Bolas found a couple of holes and gives Hutchinson a wonderful starting point at the 45 of Coffeyville.
The guy who had the best shot at making the tackle before that whole thing started, Sam Squarlow, was offside on the kick for the Red Ravens. So add 5 to the end of that great return.
Well, Bolas just hesitated, picked his spots, and made a wonderful return. So the Dragons, getting something out of the kicking game, have it at the 40-yard line of Coffeyville. Unlike Coffeyville, Hutchinson does have a good field goal kicker. Dragons looking for more than that. And they'll go to Bolas, and he is grabbed right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Aaron Collins, who was so good early in the year before suffering a fracture in his foot, getting closer to getting back. Might be back in a couple of weeks. But right now the Dragons need to get it done with this personnel.
Surprised to see with just 2 games under his belt, he's still leading some categories in the conference.
He is a real talent. Shucker throws it short, completes it to Irwin. He's pushed backwards after making the catch at the 44-yard line. It is 3rd down and still a healthy 4 yards to go for the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson has not been able to generate any kind of a downfield passing threat in this game. Frankly, neither has Coffeyville.
Still has yet to convert a 3rd down.
3rd down and 4. Des Jackson is the running back. Dragons will set up a couple of wideouts to the right. Shucker gives off to Jackson. Jackson takes it left, down the sideline, at the 20, at the 15, at the 10. And did he get in? He says touchdown. Boy, Des Jackson just makes a big play. Scoots 34 yards around the left side, pretty much similar to the 90-yard run around the left side early in the game. And the Blue Dragons get back the lead just that quickly.
He knew he was in by about the time he hit the 10-yard line and hit coast to sail into the end zone.
Yeah, he was right on that sideline. Official.
Right,
go ahead.
Start right there. Nice blocks by Jones at the tight end spot and Watson in the slot.
Extra point try is up, and the extra point try makes this a 14-7 game. So Hutchinson with an immediate response to the touchdown to Coffeyville. Dragons 14, Coffeyville 7. Let's take a break as we await the Hutchinson kickoff.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Guys, that's the kind of response you hope. A great kickoff return by Drake Bolas setting the Dragons up, and Hutchinson able to get it into the end zone.
That's what this team has done so well this year, responding when the momentum has seemed to shift. I mean, classic example would have been last week when the Blue Dragons were able to drive down the field and kick the game winner after those circumstances.
Here comes the kickoff, and it is going to be deep enough to scoot out the back of the end zone. And Coffeyville watches it bound away. And the Ravens will begin at their 25-yard line, trailing Hutchinson 14-7. 6 minutes to go, 6 minutes and 12 seconds to be a little bit more precise in the first half. Boy, what a perfect night this would have been for a cookout, Glenn.
Yeah, it really would have been. Jackson Mead is my sponsor on the sideline. 1316-662-4465. They're open 8 o'clock on Monday morning and get you some good steaks for the weekend coming up next week.
And Jackson Meat, one of those family-owned enterprises that you love to see happen. And Coffeyville able to get running back through the first line of the defense, but turned away from much more than a 4-yard gain. And that was Kendrick Jones, I believe, on that carry. It is second down. Let's call it a 5-yard pickup at the 30. Carson Proctor wants to throw. He throws left. It is complete. And a couple of nifty moves by the receiver, but too many Dragon defenders in the area. And a gain of nothing. Pass was to Kendrick Jones. And it is third down now. Loss on the play of 2, third down and 7. Carson Proctor chased, avoids the pressure, rolls out to his right, and then takes a shot in the shoulder and goes down at the 20-yard line. Boy, I tell you what, Dragons thought they had him early. He broke out of that, broke to the right side, and then took a real pop at the 20-yard line. It's fourth down and punt time.
Clarence Hicks probably upset he doesn't get his next sack on the season. Instead, out of that linebacker position, Monty Montgomery comes in and finishes Proctor off.
Let's see if the Dragons can handle a punt. It is Mitchell Tinsley back for the Blue Dragons. Dragons should come up with good field position. Punts off. It's a nice punt. Tinsley back, signals for, and makes a fair catch at the Hutchinson 35-yard line. So the Dragons will try to work on that 14-7 lead. They still have 4.5 minutes to work with in the first half, and they begin at the 35-yard line. Nice to see the Dragons field a punt. Tinsley had to go back. It was actually over his head. Was able to make the play and probably prevent the ball from scooting another 10 yards or so upfield.
Well, I think that's why they put Tinsley in. They trust his decision-making a little bit more than some of the decision-making we've seen on the season.
right, Shucker starts at the 35 with trips to the right side. Greg Bolas is the running back. He's on the left hip of the quarterback. And it is Bolas that gets the carry. Bolas finds a little hole, slips through it, pushes out close to the 40-yard line, down at the 39. It is a pickup of 4.
Nashawn Bell Jr. for the Red Ravens did a good job of getting off the block of Brian Thomas. Thomas will come out as he lost his helmet on that block.
Iowa Western won over Independence this afternoon in lopsided fashion. So a disastrous season for the defending conference champions continues as Independence drops another one, and not only drops it, got thumped. Ball thrown upfield, and it is caught at the 36-yard line. A tremendous grab by Khalil McClain.
Yeah, McClain did a good job right there to come up with the catch.
And they move it backwards, set it down at the 38, but the Dragons with plenty of time, once again in a good spot. Well, that had to be perfectly thrown, and it was.
McClain has now quietly led this team in receiving yards. He's had a few big games in a row. Actually leads the conference in receiving touchdowns.
Mason Shucker brings McClain from the left side of the formation to the right. Bolas, the running back, and he gives it to Bolas, and Bolas is grabbed, battles for what he can, got back to the line of scrimmage, might, with a kind spot, gain a yard. It has not been easy for the Dragons to run in the middle of the field. They have gotten a couple of dandy touchdown runs by taking it to the corner. 2nd down and 9. Rusty Hills, Darren Dunn, and Glenn Grunwald with you on Eagle Radio Sports on this pretty Saturday night in early fall. Dragons try to run the reverse. Coffeyville stringing it out, and the Dragons are going to get nothing out of this one. They brought Khalil McClain across the field on the reverse, and he is pulled down back at the 45-yard line. That is a big negative play of 7.
Such a versatile player. We've seen him do so much on the season, but nothing going there. You're listening to Blue Dragon Football on Hutchinson's Country Station, Country 102.9, KHUT, and KWBW, 1450 AM and 98.5 FM, where Hutchinson comes to talk.
3rd down, 17. Converting 3rd downs in this game, as you've heard Darren say, has been a chore. There haven't been very many 3rd and short. Dragons throw it backwards. It goes out of bounds. They're going to call it an incomplete pass. I never understand that call because it's clearly thrown a yard backwards.
Well, I think from where we're sitting, it is kind of a weird angle. He just got it a little bit forward to be incomplete, but that's the job of the quarterback to make sure that the officials see it that way too. So you're right in the light that Shucker was kind of throwing that one down the line in a gray zone.
And the Dragons did get a kind call. They did rule it an incomplete pass, and that saved them 6 or 7 yards. Punt time. It's a category in which the Dragons have excelled. Jones puts up a pretty punt. It is fielded on a fair catch inside the 10-yard line. Matt Jones continues to be one of the very, very top punters in the conference. In Coffeyville with a long ways to go and 2:10 to do it as we approach the end of the first half.
12 times now this season he's forced opponents into the fair catch.
Matt was really upset with the time before, which added to the Coffeyville touchdown of not getting a good one off. That time he did.
So Coffeyville will start at, I'm going to say, at the 7-yard line. Turnover would be huge here if the Dragons were to get it. Don't expect Coffeyville to take much in the way of chances here, and they won't. They'll go with a run, safe call, and a yard or so for Monte Thomas.
Offensively for Hutchinson, I think they need to talk about going to the tight end a little bit at halftime because I think there's a couple situations where the tight end just across the middle would work.
2nd down and 9, clock on the move inside 1:50. As Carson Proctor shifting personnel around, now is ready. And hands off, and Thomas takes it to the side, breaks a tackle, and gets a 1st down out at the 18-19 yard line. Neither team able to run the ball with any effectiveness tackle to tackle. Both teams having some good plays when they take it outside that boundary. At the 20-yard line. And again, Coffeyville playing it conservatively and not much on first down. Thought maybe they'd open it up a little bit with 1:20 to go. And we're going to have a timeout taken. 19 seconds better than a minute to go in this first half. Let's take a break.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon Athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports Ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
ARCAT is now part of a regional transportation partnership with...
Well, Coffeyville has 2 timeouts left. They have the ball at their own 21-yard line. They trail Hutchinson 14-7. Second down and 9. Wind just simply not a factor at all. The flag just barely moving off to our right. And again, they go with a run as Dragons make a good hit on Monte Thomas. Had he been able to break one more tackle, he might have run a long ways. But as it is 3rd down and 5. Quiet crowd in this game. Proctor wants to throw, has time, and then throws a pick. Dragons with the interception. I said, how about a turnover? How about a touchdown off of a turnover? Monty Montgomery.
That was hit from behind, right into Monty Montgomery's hands by a Dragon.
Jalen Pinckney was the man in the backfield to get there. And, of course, as you guys mentioned, Montgomery the benefactor.
That was open sailing to the end zone, and the Dragon defense makes a huge play. And all of a sudden, it is the Dragons by a couple of touchdowns with the extra point coming.
At 6'5", 239, you think it'd be hard to sneak around, but that's exactly what Pinckney did to sneak up behind Proctor. Didn't even know he was coming.
Extra point try is up, and the Blue Dragons with a dagger touchdown from the defense take a 21-7 lead. We'll take a break. The Hutchinson kickoff
ARCAT is now part
next.
of a regional transportation partnership with Sedgwick County Transportation and Wichita Transit. We are working together to provide rides to Wichita and back on Tuesdays. Wichita Transit has fixed route and paratransit service available within the city. Round trip costs range between $19 and $27. Advanced registration with ARCAT is required. ARCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. Call 694-2913 for details.
Well, gentlemen, there's a world of difference between going in at halftime 14-7 and going in perhaps ahead 21-7. That's the margin right now with 50 seconds to go. Huge play made by the defense. That interception was totally caused by the defense. Pretty hard to put any fault on quarterback Carson Proctor. He just got smacked as he was getting ready to release the football. Comes the Dragon kickoff. This one is short. It is returnable and taken at the 10-yard line. Brought out quickly to the 15, to the 20. A couple of spin moves and out to the 30-yard line. Pretty fancy run back by Coffeyville. And doing a nice job was Anthony Taylor. He gets it out to the 30-yard line with 44 seconds to play in the first half.
Would have been stopped about 10 yards short of that, but he was able to bounce right off of Dante Madden.
And I am going to guess, we'll see, but I'm going to guess that Coffeyville will play this pretty conservatively. They got burned last time by the Dragon defense. Nope. Proctor wants to throw, being chased from behind, and throws on the sideline. It is incomplete. It was intended for Andre Thomas Cobb at about the 25-yard line. incomplete, and we're down to 38 seconds to go in this first half. Dragons will be on the road next Saturday. It'll be their 4th road game of the season, and it will be in Dodge City. Carson Proctor gets a low snap, drops back, being chased, throws it as far as he can upfield, and it is going to be caught at the 25-yard line. Dragon defender was there, but not much that he could do. The ball was actually a little bit underthrown, and coming back to make the reception was Dawson.
It's actually Art Green getting the interception, his 4th of the year for the Blue Dragons.
I got tied up with the uniforms. I thought it was the offensive player that pulled it down.
That was a great play by Art Green, just sitting there. You mentioned that the ball was coming up short, and he was in perfect position to just hop up and pull it down for his 4th of the season.
Thank you very much. I saw number 23 come up with it, and to me, these jerseys they're just kind of mirror images of each other, and I just flat blew that one. So it is another takeaway by the Blue Dragons. Would Hutchinson take a shot here with 28 seconds to go? Who knows? Not a whole lot of gamble if you throw it long. And we'll have flags before the snap here.
Yeah, Brian Thomas, he got to wait for the snap. He got a little ahead of himself on that one.
So it will be a first down and 15 after the walk-off.
I think that makes the decision you were talking about a little bit easier to go ahead and run this one out.
Well, which Hutchinson can easily do, but you could also take a shot downfield if you wanted. Mason Shucker has not completed a whole lot of passes deep.
The way Thomas shot off that line, though, looked like it was going to be a run.
And it is a run, and breaking to the outside. Oh, my, Des Jackson grabbed by the ankle at the 30-yard line. He would still be running.
He was one step away.
That was a well of an open field tackle. And I'll just go on record as saying that might have prevented a touchdown.
Yeah, it should be the end of the quarter, guys.
Yeah, Dragons won't snap it again. So with a couple of interceptions in the game's last 90 seconds, Hutchinson at halftime enjoying a 14-point margin, 21-7. We'll take 2 minutes and be back to Coffeyville.
No time to fix breakfast? Just call us at Anchor Away 662-3100 and we'll have it ready for you. Choose from our selection of breakfast burritos, biscuits, or one of our 5 different complete breakfast plates. Breakfast from 7 to 10:30, Monday through Saturday. If you missed us for breakfast, we're here for lunch and dinner too. Pick up your favorite Mexican dinner or take some home for the family. We're open till 9. That's Anchor Away, drive-through, carry-out, and catering under the water tower at B & Adams in Hutchinson, 662-3100.
Love your smartphone, but not your current service provider? Or the idea of having to buy a new phone when you switch? Now you don't have to. You can bring your device to Nextech Wireless. Enjoy our high-speed 4G network, nationwide coverage, exceptional local customer service, plus your first 2 months will be absolutely free. You'll also enjoy monthly savings, including unlimited data for as low as $20 per month. Certain restrictions apply. Switch to Nextech Wireless, keep your current phone, and receive your first 2 months free.
Hi, this is Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. We understand that when you're looking for a new vehicle, there are many options and it can get overwhelming. We're here to help you through that process. We can find the vehicle to fit your needs and your budgets. Right now, Toyota's offering unheard of rebates. On a brand new Tacomas, $1,500 rebates. Also on 4Runners, $1,500 rebates. And get this, you can get a brand new Sienna with $3,500 in rebates. These are huge rebates for Toyota. Come out and see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
Needing repairs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the Bag Lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Dakar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your back purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me Donna Pitzer, the Bag Lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
Halftime at Coffeyville. Blue Dragons find themselves on top 21-7. A big play in the waning minute and a half of the game. An interception by Monty Montgomery. giving the Dragons that 14-point bulge. This is the first half Medicine Shop game capsule. The Medicine Shop would like you to know that even if you're not a Medicine Shop customer, bring your med list by the Medicine Shop anytime between now and December 7th. And our helpful staff, they'll find the best Medicare Part D plan tailored just for you. Brent, one of the pharmacists at the Medicine Shop, he's the best at the business at loading your drugs in a special software program that will determine the 3 best plans and let you choose which one you want. You might save hundreds of dollars. Who knows? You might even save $1,000. That Medicare Part D window closes, though, December 7th. So get your list to the Medicine Shop today. The statistics in the first half reflect a closer game than the scoreboard does. And, of course, a big portion of that, the interception return for a touchdown by Monty Montgomery. Dragons 25 snaps in the first half, 175 yards. Coffeyville 44 snaps. That's 19 more snaps by the Coffeyville offense, 145 yards. Coffeyville had 9 first downs in the first half. The Blue Dragons had 5. Desmond Jackson having another tremendous game. 135 yards on just 4 touches. He had a run of about 40 yards. He had a run of about 90 yards. That accounted for most of his 135 yards. Drake Bolus has carried 7 times for 27 yards. Mason Shucker, throwing almost totally short passes, has gone 5 out of 10 for just 37 yards in that game, was picked off 1 time. For Coffeyville, Monte Thomas, 10 carries, good for 78 yards. Darius Hopkins, 7 for 40 yards. Carson Proctor threw 14 times in the first half. 7 of them didn't touch the turf. 5 of them were complete. 2 of them picked off by the Dragons, including that one that turned into a Hutchinson touchdown. It is the Blue Dragons in a pretty good spot at the halftime break as they lead Coffeyville's Red Ravens 21-7. This is the Medicine Shop first half game capsule. Drop by the Medicine Shop. You'll find it conveniently located at 14th and Main. You'll like what you find. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with the rest of our halftime.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bauman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Halftime in Coffeyville, 21-7. Glenn, I think you've got some scores for us.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned earlier baseball.
The Jayhawk scores. Baseball, yeah, Dodgers won 4-3, so they snapped, what was that, a 12 or 13 game winning streak by Milwaukee?
Yes. I think it was 13.
No more. So Yeah, 13. So now that series is one apiece, and Houston and Boston going at it a little bit later on. Today up in Fort Dodge, Iowa Central all over Dodge City, 58-7. Yeah, we won't see Iowa Central until November 10th, but Dodge City on the wrong end of that 58-7 score, and Dodge City will host the Blue Dragons next Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff. Fort Scott a winner in overtime over Ellsworth Community College out of Iowa, 36-30, and final in overtime there. And Iowa Western let Independence hang around. 16-14 was one score we had. I believe that was a halftime score, but just scored 4 touchdowns in the second half. Iowa Western 44-21 was the final over Independence. So Indy continues to really struggle.
Yeah, that's
on top.
That's hard to understand, Glenn. I thought when we played them early in the year that Independence had a lot of Division I talent.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I thought so too. Butler at the end of at halftime leading Air Force Prep 17-7. And of course here it's 21-7. Hutchinson with the lead. And soccer today, it was the Blue Dragons 2, Dodge City nothing. That was one that took place. Also, I know volleyball was at West Plains. They went 1-1 yesterday. Not sure what they did today. I'll try to find out. But all kinds of sports action going all the way around. We're just about a month away from the national tournament that will be held, of course, at the sports arena. That's going to be on the 15th through the 17th of November, so that's just around the corner. But that's at least some Jayhawk scores. We'll run real quick. And K-State, a nice win today. They got a nice win over Oklahoma State, 31-12. That was played up in Manhattan, so a nice win right there by the Cats back in the win column. Iowa State in the third quarter leads West Virginia 20-14 with 11:11 to go in the third.
How about Iowa State?
On Thursday, yeah, that was over Iowa State. Iowa State 20-14 over West Virginia. On Thursday, it was Texas Tech, a winner over TCU, 17-14. And Texas, they came alive now. They're 6-1. They won over Baylor 23-17. So that's from the Big 12 that took place. KU was off this weekend and did not play. Some other top 25 scores. A big one was the one where LSU wins big over Georgia, 36-16. We listened to that one coming down. And Tennessee, a winner over Auburn, 30-24. Auburn now 4-3. Tennessee 3-3 on the season. Michigan in the third quarter just starting leads Wisconsin 13-7. That's always a big one. And Florida a winner. Dan Mullins with the win, 37-27 over Vanderbilt. Ohio State still the real deal. They'll move up with that Georgia loss. They beat Minnesota 30-14. And a final Notre Dame, a winner over Pittsburgh, 19-14. So those are just some games from the NCAA top 25. So right here, 21-7, a nice lead for the Blue Dragons. Got a nice gift on the pick by Monty Montgomery. Picked it off midair after a Blue Dragon knocked it away from the Coffeyville quarterback and took it in untouched. The lead at 21-7. Hutchinson kind of finally got the sidelines a little fired up. It's been kind of a quiet sidelines until that big touchdown by Montgomery. We'll see what the second half brings.
Glenn, I was wanting to ask you during the first half, do you see any difference on the sidelines in terms of enthusiasm with the absence of Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes for one game?
I kind of do to some extent. They're very much a take care of business, but not a lot of enthusiasm. Steve Kaplan is on the sidelines. Also, Randy McKay's down here with me. And Randy, didn't you feel like it was kind of a quiet sideline?
Especially at the start of the game, I think I kind of picked up, especially late when Monty got that touchdown interception. But otherwise, there's just not a whole lot of emotion on the sidelines at all.
And it could have to do with Coach Rhodes not being here. Of course, he's unable to come into the stadium. He made the trip down with the team, but he's watching the stream and listening to us as well. So they were just kind of down from what I could tell, both offense and defense. So we'll see what happens in the second half because Monty Montgomery's pick certainly got him fired up. I'm going to go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and talk about some other things from the sports world. We'll be back right after this.
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
I don't know about you, but the older I get, the more health issues I seem to have. Fortunately, the physicians at Prairie Star understand. They watch over me, and if my blood pressure, glucose levels, darn cholesterol numbers, or anything else needs attention, they provide an appropriate medical plan. This is truly quality health care. Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Coffeyville. 21-7, Blue Dragons on top of the Coffeyville Red Ravens. And, again, Jackson with about 137 yards. He had that big 90-yard run in the first quarter to get the first touchdown for Hutchinson, and then another long run. And just about popped another one a little while ago, but then Monty Montgomery, again, with the interception to make it 21-7 at halftime. We're about 6 minutes away from the start of the second half of play. One game I failed to talk about was the big overtime win by Northwestern over Nebraska, coming from behind to win 34-31. Came back and tied the ball game up, and then took it right down the field. Tied it up to get it in overtime, and then took advantage of Nebraska not going for a field goal, and Northwestern was able to connect, and Northwestern University keeps Nebraska winless for this year. So that was a heck of a game that was played this afternoon, and that was played up in Northwestern. Big win right there by the Cats of Northwestern, no doubt about that. So big win last night in high school football. St. Thomas Aquinas, coached by former Salt Hawk head coach Randy Dreiling, gave up 2 touchdowns early to Miege, trailed 14-0, but ended up winning the game 42-21. Kind of shocked the high school ranks all around the state of Kansas. Nice win by the Salt Hawks last night, 45-24, coming from behind in the fourth quarter against Salina South. So congratulations on them. Derby went pretty easily over campus, and then also Mays a winner over Salina Central. So that sets up a big matchup with Mays and Derby this coming Friday night, and also a big matchup with campus hosting the Salt Hawks. And the Salt Hawks, by the way, moved up 3 spots in the seeding on the West. And right now, if it stopped this week, they would be going to Manhattan in the playoffs. But they have an opportunity to even move up a little farther. So that is what took place in high school ball last night.
And you were
Congratulations to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, you were talking earlier in a half about things just around the corner. Just around the corner is Blue Dragon basketball.
Yeah, Blue Dragon basketball starts on November 2nd. Matter of fact, the girls down in Fort Worth today went 2-1, and we've heard all indications that the girls are going to be pretty good. But both teams in action, the guys with a game on the 2nd and the 3rd of November. Keep in mind, we play Garden City in football on the 3rd, so you can come to the Garden City Hutchinson Blue Dragon game and then go and watch some good basketball on that Saturday night as well. Then they'll be on the road. I'm going to be down in Enid with them. I'm going on down for a church conference on the 6th of November. So that evening I will call the game between the Blue Dragon men as they take on NOC Enid. And then they'll be in that weekend, you and Darren have the game against Murray State as they travel to Barton. And then I'll have the game against the Redland team out of Oklahoma and the Blue Dragons that Saturday afternoon when you guys are wrapping up with Iowa Central football coming to Gowan Stadium. So basketball's around the corner, but we got a lot of football yet to play. We got a whole half to play yet tonight.
Glenn, Last Chance U might be kind of entertaining next year. Steve Carpenter.
Last Chance U kind of makes it be a last chance, doesn't it? Yeah. So it could be real entertaining to watch when it comes out next fall.
Steve Carpenter just dropped by and said, in that game, Jason Bourne got ejected from the game.
Brown got ejected.
Brown
yeah,
got
he had
kicked
that.
Out. All right.
Had that fight, of course, again when he went out to Garden City this year, and with that team being 1-5, you can expect a lot of different things when that series comes out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So let's take another 2-minute timeout. Second half just around the corner. Hutch up 21-7. We'll be back right after this.
When you're looking for jewelry that's one of a kind, remember Amelia Bedelias, filled with thousands of beads and stones. And with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelias, 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons.
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Don't pack away your summer pieces just yet. It may still be warm, yet summer to fall fashions are here at Brick House Boutique. Comfortable and affordable casual clothes at 117 South Main in Hutchinson. Big city chic in a downtown boutique.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Vehicles are getting pretty smart these days with semi-automatic control features that make driving easier. But riding an RCAT vehicle is easier yet. You don't have to do a thing. Just stand along the route, wave your hand at the driver, and hop on. RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation that travels throughout Hutchinson and South Hutchinson hourly, on weekdays from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 694-2913 for further information.
Steve, what do you expect? Steve, how am I doing? I think I'm tired. I was in Chicago.
Did you call me Steve, or you calling Glenn Steve?
No, I'm calling you Steve.
Because Steve McLean just came in and gave you that information about Independence, which we were talking about during the break. That means Brown will be suspended then for Independence's next game. Not that it seemed to have mattered much, but you know when you got to bring the ratings back up, your team has 5 losses on the season. You got to make something happen to make it entertaining for when that show comes out next year.
By the way, we have some wind, guys. 5 miles per hour coming out of the east.
It will be Coffeyville to get the football to start the second half. Ravens trail Hutchinson 21-7. Low kick hits a Coffeyville player, ricochets into the end zone, and they'll not bring it back out. Hit a Coffeyville player at about the 10-yard line. He tried to track it down in the end zone, and by the time he got it, he was covered up by a bunch of Blue Dragon kick coverage folks, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Ball took a bounce that Darius Hopkins was not expecting and got to his right hand up into the bicep area a little bit quicker than he anticipated.
All right, let's see what Coffeyville can get done here to open the third quarter. They trail 21-7. Carson Proctor remains at quarterback. Wideouts to the left a pair, and one to the short side of the field, that being the right. Proctor hands off, and the Blue Dragons give up about 4 yards on just a straight handoff on first down play. Nothing fancy there, just straight ahead football. That was Deshaun Massey on the carry.
Yeah, Glenn mentioned in the first half he's just 5'5", can get lost kind of easily in there, and for whatever reason, these backs have been able to make some jump cuts in between the tackles.
Coffeyville has had some success when they've been content to keep it on the ground. And they'll go back to the run and won't get much, maybe a yard or two. It'll be third down, still a healthy 5 or 6 yards at least to go for a first down. Blue Dragons trying to improve to 7-1. The only blemish, 33-24 loss to Iowa Western, a team that is one spot above them in the national polls in the number 3 spot. Garden City's number 2. So the Jayhawk, well represented. Proctor wants to throw, throws it upfield. Got hit as he released it. It's incomplete.
Red Ravens now 1 for 10 on third down. Again, league worst, 23% conversion rate when it comes to third down.
So the Blue Dragons will send back in safety. It will be Mitchell Tinsley. And we'll see whether Tinsley fields this punt. That's been the lament of the Hutchinson coaching staff, as nobody's been able to field punts, and now there's a flag before the punt. And the punt will come from 5 yards farther back because of a false start. Coffeyville punter Nathan Maylock averages just under 40 yards a punt. Tinsley awaits at the Hutchinson 41-yard line.
5th penalty on Coffeyville, most penalized team in the Jayhawk.
Punt is a beauty. Tinsley driven backwards, fields it over his shoulder, and got hit. I thought I saw him signal for a fair catch, and he got belted.
Yeah, he did, and the officials looks like they're going to let this one play through.
Wow. Hutchinson will have it at the 27-yard line. Tremendous punt by Maylock. They let a lot of contact go. Hutchinson offense comes out on the field leading 21-7. Just underway third quarter. Rusty Hills, Darren Dunn, Glenn Grunwald with you.
Missing a player on the Blue Dragon offense.
And here he comes.
Got about 12 on the play clock.
Chaston Turntine, a little late getting out onto the field.
Dragons go to Des Jackson, hesitates, tries to find a hole, gets pushed backwards, got 1, maybe 2 yards to the 29-yard line. Des Jackson's had a couple of tremendous runs in this game, 2 touchdown runs. Boy, if the Dragons can get back Aaron Collins to go with Des Jackson, how about that for a pair of running backs? Garden City thinks they have a great pair. I'd match Hutchinson's pair against anybody if Collins gets back. Second down, 10. Shucker throws upfield and misfires badly. Had a wide open receiver at the 40-yard line and didn't get it within 5 yards of him.
Had Jalen Irwin, and of course a third of his catches have been for touchdowns this season. And again, we continue to see Mason Shucker struggle to hit his mark.
Yeah, he is not having a good percentage game at all. Third down and 8. That was a long throw, but a pretty routine one. Dragons on the left hash mark. Needing 8 on third down. Shucker back to throw. Pressure comes. They get the ball to Jackson. Jackson has to make some people miss and can't do it. And a good defensive job by Coffeyville Jackson gets about a yard on the screen pass, and it's 4th down, and the Dragons will punt it away.
See, and I think this Blue Dragon offense hoping that maybe these shorter throws can help fire up Mason Shucker getting back on point again. But you'll remember a lot of his throws in the backfield in the first half were off the mark as well.
Yeah, the Dragons have just not been sharp offensively, but Des Jackson has made the offense plenty productive with his 2 long touchdown runs. Garcia's punt is low, fielded at the 30-yard line. Great kick coverage downfield for the Dragons, and nowhere to go on the return by big number 85 of Coffeyville. Fielding the punt was Nicholas Hernandez, and the Dragon defenders on top of him. So the teams exchange possessions. Nobody gains any real field position. The ball at the 25-yard line as Coffeyville gets its second opportunity of period number 3.
Pretty telling what this game has been like. You mentioned 19 more plays from scrimmage for Coffeyville, yet 32 fewer yards. It's just been that kind of game for the Red Ravens.
Coffeyville tries to get to the edge, and the Dragons this time string it out, and there's nothing there. It is so hard to run against this Hutchinson team. Nobody has really been able to get a whole lot done against the Dragon defense. That's why it's so highly ranked nationally. Under 12 minutes to play, third quarter. Hutchinson 21-7 the lead. Carson Proctor comes up, says something to a couple of his offensive linemen, now backs off. Needs 10. Massey is the running back. Proctor with time, now gets flushed and throws it out of bounds. I think he realized he wasn't going to have a chance to complete it, just threw it away.
Edgar Gaines closing in on him, and Monty Montgomery peeling off as well.
Dragons have been able to put a lot of pressure on Carson Proctor.
Sacked 5 times in the first half.
Yeah, and threw a couple of picks, one of which wasn't his fault as he got hit from behind to pop the ball up in the air. 3rd down 10. Pressure comes. Down goes Proctor at the 15-yard line. Dragons coming with all kinds of pressure. Proctor didn't even get a chance to turn around and look downfield.
Gaines got close on the last play, gets the sack on this one, and coming from the other side on the blitz was again Monty Montgomery.
So the Dragons should get great field position here. Hutchinson leading at 21-7. 4 minutes gone, third quarter.
You'll see Irwin goes back to receive this time instead of Tinsley.
Well, Irwin can do a lot of things if he'll field the punt. Steps up, signals for a fair catch, and then backs out, and the ball bounds around and rolls dead at the 42-yard line. So, pretty good field position for Hutchinson. Dragons continue to lead by 14. Again, next week, it's at Dodge City for this Hutchinson squad. A Dodge City team that's not playing particularly well, but a team that seems to always give Hutchinson a pretty good fight out there.
Always seems to be windy as well when we go out to Dodge.
Yeah, it blows a little in western Kansas. That is for sure. Dragons will keep it on the ground, and pretty productive run on first down from the 41 out to the 48-yard line. That's just simply hard running by Blue Dragon Andrew Lee.
Yeah, first time we've seen him
Lee,
in this game.
Good to see him back as well. White I have not seen yet, and he went out with the ankle last week.
Pickup of 6 by Andrew Lee, and he got about 4 of that pretty much on his own. Second and comparatively short at the 47-yard line. Shucker. Hands off, and the Dragons won't get much. It was Lee getting grabbed by the ankle Might have lost a yard on the carry.
It's almost as if he didn't quite trust that peel-off block on the right side, the kick-out block by Jones, and when he cut back, the defense closed in on him.
So the Dragons left with 3rd down and 4. And boy, these 3rd downs have been tough for these teams. Dragons with a couple of wideouts to the left side. Shucker stays in a pocket, throws it upfield, and it's broken up.
So you saw him overthrow on his last time he went to Irwin. This time he tries to make sure he doesn't do that, but throws it short enough that Malik Smith is able to come in for the Red Ravens and swat it down.
So it is again a punting situation for the Blue Dragons. Guys, I have no doubt that this Hutchinson defense is good enough to play at the national level. The Hutchinson offense might need an Aaron Collins return to get to that level.
Just still trying to find that groove. Didn't expect to see Shucker struggle quite as much as he has, but you look at the other side, Proctor has also struggled.
There's another nice punt. Angled away, takes a Blue Dragon roll down inside the 10. Dragons will down it at about the 3. Downfield to cover it up for Hutchinson, Dylan Chesterman. There's a name from Hutch High, better known as the long snapper.
13th time Jones has pinned an opponent inside the 20.
So Coffeyville continues to trail Hutchinson 21-7 on what continues to be a very nice evening for football in southeast Kansas. We talked about the Dragons could stand a turnover early in the or late in the first half. They got it. Let's see what happens here. Coffeyville trying to create something. Carson Proctor stands in the end zone, unloads it quickly, completes it out to the left for a gain of 8 or 9. Complete to Andre Thomas Cobb, pulling it in. It's a pickup of 9.
You mentioned that's his favorite receiver. First time he's been able to have his name called here today.
He's been a big play guy, averaging between 35 and 40 yards per reception. Neither team's had a whole lot of success throwing it downfield. And Coffeyville keeps it on the ground on first down. The ball carrier was, Gardner on the carry, number 29.
Yeah, Jaden Gardner, 5'10", 180-pound redshirt freshman. Just his second attempt of the year. His first for, well, I guess he went for no gain.
Yeah, he picked up a first down.
Okay, so his first positive yardage gain.
And the Dragons, as Coffeyville continues to keep it on the ground, that time stop it for negative yardage. It was Monte Thomas that time. And they say he got back to the line of scrimmage. Let's call it 2nd down and 10. Not much happening from either offense here in the third quarter. We have reached the halfway mark. Again, Hutchinson, 21, Coffeyville 7. A Hutchinson win, should it ensue, would be the 10th in the last 11 games. There's a pass play that is broken up.
One that Monty Montgomery might want back. Didn't realize it was going to fly past the intended receiver, and before he knew it, it was sitting in his lap and then dropping to the ground.
Already has one pick six. Not too far from another one right there. Dragons showing blitz. And Carson Proctor has been sacked a batch here. Pressure comes, Proctor unloads, and it is incomplete. Good coverage by the Blue Dragons. Nice coverage again by Blue Dragon defender Art Green, was it?
Tell you what.
Yep.
He's a good one. He consistently each week gets better and better. And right there, he got there at the same time as the football did. It kept that reception from happening.
Yeah.
Nice pressure by Monty Montgomery, by the way.
And they were throwing again to Andre Thomas Cobb. So 3 possessions in the quarter for Coffeyville. Nothing. I don't think they've even gotten more than 1 first down. Blue Dragons haven't done much better. There's another nice punt. that the Dragons will not field, get out of the way, and the ball will bounce down to the Hutchinson 36-yard line. It has become a rarity for punts to be fielded.
It looked like that time Tinsley was thinking about at least trying to get in for the fair catch, but as he was backpedaling, got his feet tangled up.
And the punts are so high, and so many kids get down on punt coverage so quickly, it's pretty daunting to try to field one sometimes. Well, let's see if the Hutchinson offense can generate something. Looks like it'll be Drake Bolus at the running back spot. Dragons hit with a triangle of people in receiver positions out to the left, and the Dragons go with the run to Bolus, and Bolus up the middle across the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. That will be about 2 yards shy of a first down. So it is a second and short. Official marks the ball ready to play. Mason Shucker. And they blow this play dead.
Flag on the near side went flying. Not a whole lot of folks in the stands. Some over in the F and G section that's to the north, but a lot of people on level number 4.
Illegal procedure on the Blue Dragons. That one hurts. Goes from a second down and 2 to a second down and 7 at the Hutchinson 39-yard line. Teams plan to a standoff here in the second half, leaving Hutchinson with its 14-point halftime margin.
That's one you hate to see. They split out Watson the 4th, and he gets too far past the ball.
Shucker floats it off to the side, and it is caught. This will be a race for the end zone, and a defender gets to Mitchell Tinsley, knocks him out of bounds, but not before Tinsley gets down inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Pretty good job of playing defense for Alvinoski LaFleur, but it's a big play for the Dragons. And for the first time in this game, the Dragons strike deep with a pass play.
5th reception of the season for Tinsley, and he had Troy Simon beat off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he got turned inside, outside to get to it. Nice catch by Tinsley.
Now Shucker tosses it left. That too is complete and taken down inside the 10. Pushed out of bounds at about the 8-yard line with another nice gain for the Blue Dragons. That's Dalron Donaldson.
Talk about a couple of guys back-to-back who haven't seen much action. That's just the 6th reception of the season for Donaldson.
And the Blue Dragons find themselves with second and short at about the 10-yard line. Shucker hands off. Bolus trying to bounce to the outside, and will pay the price for it. He will not get back to the line of scrimmage, and the Dragons will lose 2 or 3. You wonder why the Dragons have kept the carries for Des Jackson to as low a number as it is in the game.
Yeah, they've really been cycling through these 3 running backs. They kind of like to have that system. The only difference, as Glenn mentioned earlier in this half, is the fact that they don't have Jonathan White tonight.
3rd down and 6. Shucker play action, floats it over the top, and it is incomplete. Battle for the basketball in the back, or rather for the football in the back left-hand corner of the end zone. It is incomplete, and presumably that'll bring on the field goal team.
You got to have 2 arms to catch the ball. One was being grabbed by a defender. At least that way I saw it, but now we'll get a Garcia field goal.
You're right. A lot of contact by Burnett hanging on, and it was almost as if the official thought Donaldson was going to come down with it and pocket the flag, and it was too late for him to throw it on the tail end of it.
This will be a 31-yard try by Sebastian Garcia. The kick is up. It is long enough, and it is good. And Garcia continues to be a huge weapon. Now 8 of 11 on field goal tries. And the Blue Dragons score the game's first points of the second half. And with 4:46 to play in period number 3, Hutchinson leads 24-7. Let's take a break.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Hi, this is Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest.
Well, the Blue Dragons with the field goal by Garcia lead it 24-7. 4:46 to play, third quarter. Nice to see Coach Aaron Flores healthy on the sidelines for Coffeyville's Red Ravens. He really struggled a year ago, had a double lung transplant, and is recovered and is doing well.
9-hour surgery back in March for that acute interstitial lung disease. He's had that oxygen tank since 2004.
Kickoff is returnable and returned by Coffeyville, but not any farther than the 20-yard line. Red Ravens trying to find an offense to go against one of the best defenses in the country, and so far pretty much unable to do so.
It was so special at the beginning of the season to see the support around the league. It was kind of started by head coach Ryan Rhodes of the Blue Dragons. There was a standing ovation for Flores. Everyone was excited to see something that transcends the game of football and to see him doing so well.
Now he'd like to see his quarterback start to do well. Coffeyville right at the 20-yard line. And they stick with the run, and the Blue Dragons stick with doing what they do best, and that's stopping those carries up the middle for almost nothing. That was Deshaun Massey, and he got almost nothing, about 2 yards. So it is a 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line. Carson Proctor does have quick strike capabilities. He got a couple of receivers that average a bunch of yards per catch, but hadn't been able to get much going in this one. And they'll stick with the run, and this time a little hole up the middle and threw it across the 30 out to the 34-yard line for a first down. Goes Deshaun Massey. You talked about his size. I really think he's a little bit like Darren Sproles. He kind of gets lost out there.
Took Caleb Bryce from the backside to track him down. Bryce leading this game so far in tackles.
And again, hard to bring down is the little guy. Massey able to get 3 or 4 yards on first down. Clock on the move, 3.5 to play, third quarter. Hutchinson at the moment pretty comfortable, up 24-7.
Mass substitution for the Blue Dragon defense.
And this has got to be hard on the other team when you can bring fresh legs out there as frequently as the Dragons do. Carson Proctor, hands off. Again the run, and again Dragon defender there to contain it to short yardage.
Tank Morgan that time doing a better job of shedding the block and making a good tackle. You mentioned the guy got run over last time. It was Morgan. He made sure it didn't happen this time around.
When the season started, we knew the defensive line was solid, but the little question regarding linebackers and also the secondary, and I think it's been answered.
Yeah, the secondary has definitely gotten better and better and better.
Keep getting better.
It is 3rd down and 6. Proctor wants to throw. Will he have time? Now he decides to run with it, and he is grabbed short of the first down at the 42-yard line. Grabbed from behind, about 2 yards shy of a first down, presumably punt time. But who knows? When you trail 24-7 and there's just a little over 2 minutes to go in the third, they will bring the punt team out. Nathan Maylock has had some dandy punts. His line of scrimmage on this one will be the 41-yard line. And we've got a different Blue Dragon back there now.
Should be Jacorian Bennett going back to receive this one.
Punts off. It's high. Bennett will have the opportunity to make a play. Fumbles the football. Muffs the punt, but I think got back on top of it.
He did. His mistake was when he went up, instead of keeping his elbows down by his waist, he tried to bring it up as if he was catching a pass over his shoulders, over his head, and you just can't do that with a punt.
Boy, Hutchinson is struggling to find someone that they're confident with back there in that safety spot on those punts. Hutchinson will have it at the 15-yard line. When you don't field it, you better dive on top of it, which is what Bennett did. And he'll look for the Dragons to maybe keep it on the ground here. Now Shucker will throw. Throws it out to the sideline and misfires by about 4 or 5 yards. Incomplete pass near the 50-yard line. It'll be second down.
Seeing something a little bit different from him tonight with this inconsistency. He's kind of thrown to the spot he's hoping the receiver will be. And games past, when you've seen so many big plays from the Blue Dragons, he's had the open man and he's put it where he knows he throws it right to the receiver. Here he's hoping Irwin is going to be able to run under it, and not the case.
Second down, 10. Another pass play. And wow, there wasn't anybody in the vicinity there.
Tinsley went into the center of the field, and Shucker was expecting him to go back outside to the sideline.
Third down and 10. Blue Dragons. Go ahead, Glenn.
Just had a text, want to know why tornadoes is written across the end zone. They're watching on the stream.
That's the high school
mascot.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Shucker will throw again, and again doesn't come within 5 yards of his intended receiver, Irwin, on the sideline. Strange set of downs there for the Blue Dragons. Leading 24-7 on their own 15-yard line. Tried to throw long 3 times, and frankly, quarterback Mason Shucker didn't come close on any of those. Mason has been a quarterback that has made very few mistakes. He's been a great game manager. I'm not sure how he would rate his own performance in this one.
He's had a relatively clean pocket. It's just been off target.
Matt Jones gets off a low kick, takes a Hutchinson roll, and rolls out of bounds near the 40-yard line of the Red Ravens. We're down to 1:24 to play in the third quarter. Hutchinson continuing to lead 24-7. A win for the Blue Dragons would make them 7-1 going to Dodge City. A bye week after Dodge City, then Garden City comes to town for a huge matchup, and the Dragons will finish with Iowa Central. Both of those games at home. Dragons having a great season in terms of home games. They'll play 7 of them. Small crowd, not very vocal. A majority of the crowd, obviously, since we're in Coffeyville, Red Raven fans, they've not had much to cheer about. And now this play gets blown dead before the snap, which never got back to quarterback Carson Proctor. So the walk-off will be against Coffeyville.
And it looks like they're going to actually use Aloysius Jackson Jr. to take the snap.
Well, Proctor hasn't been anything to talk about. And Jackson will keep the football. Gets back about 3 or 4 of the 5 yards they lost on the penalty.
Just his 5th carry of the year.
That tells you that Coach Flores is really struggling to find an offense that he likes. Jackson, a big, tall kid, at least compared to his running backs, hands it off, and the little guy, the little cannonball, gets out to the 40-yard line talking about 5'5" Deshaun Massey. It'll be 3rd and long. And that has been the story of this game. Just 3rd and long, 3rd and long, 3rd and long. Dragons got a couple of touchdown runs from Des Jackson, got a field goal, and the other touchdown scored by the defense. The offense is not very productive.
These teams are combined 2 of 21 on 3rd down.
That is simply dreadful. And there's another penalty. As we see it, a false start.
Dragons were pointing. And the clock kept going for a little bit. It's showing 12-3. I don't know if they'll put more on it or not.
Right tackle jump for Coffeyville. And they do catch it. They'll put 17 seconds back on the clock.
They had trouble taking. That's what you were getting ready to say.
Adjusting the clock has been a challenge. Sometimes adjusting the scoreboard's been a challenge.
We may get 70 minutes up there before this one's done.
And now we have
17 minutes. That was close.
Well, we're going to have it a little. There we got it.
There you go.
All right. Again, it is 3rd down and a bunch. 3rd down and 14.
Proctor back in to throw it.
Proctor steps up, throws downfield, and it is incomplete at the 10-yard line.
Got Kendrick Jones turned around. Had it been on the line, it should have been. He had Clemens beat, but just didn't have a good shot at getting that ball that was sailing out of bounds.
So, once again, a punt.
Coffeyville now 1 of 13 on 3rd.
Yeah. Well, we have seen some Coffeyville teams with outstanding offenses. This is not one of them. And a big, big part of that, the quality play by the Dragon defenders. Punt is off. Dragons signal for a fair catch. Mishandle it. Picked up by Coffeyville. And Coffeyville apparently will have it at the 27-yard line. The Dragon woes in the punting game continue.
He called fair catch, and they, to me, interfered with him being able to catch it.
Well, you know who it was. It was his own player, Kareem Brown, that went sailing into him. So that's the conversation the officials will have. They'll give it to Coffeyville. If you're blocked into your own player or you get blocked into the player, then there's no interference. So this will stay with the Red Ravens. Just an unfortunate situation when his teammate comes sailing into him.
Yeah, you're right. He blocked into him, and he was not able to get to it clean way. So it will be Coffeyville's football.
Well, Coffeyville down 17, needed a break. They got one as the Dragons continue to struggle with the basics of dealing with punts. There's going to be a timeout taken here with just 2 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll take the break as well.
We understand that when looking for a new vehicle, there are many options, and it can get overwhelming. We're here to help you through that process. We can find the vehicle that fits your needs and budget. I have a brand new 2018 Ford Focus SE for only $14,720. That's over $6,500 off the MSRP. And if it's a larger SUV you're looking for, we have select brand new 2018 Expeditions with over $12,000 off MSRP. Come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
Well, with the Hutchinson woes on being able to handle punts, guys, maybe the answer is to put everybody on the line of scrimmage and try to block the punt.
See, we thought it was the decision-making of the punt returner, and that time Tinsley, there wasn't much he could do about it when his teammate Brown came flying back into him, and that's what the White Hat is explaining to the Blue Dragon coaches on the sideline, why the call went the way it did.
Well, meanwhile, a great opportunity for Carson Proctor to get Coffeyville a little bit closer, barring penalty. This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Proctor back, wants to throw, has time, unloads it over the middle, and it is incomplete. Misfired, missed an open receiver in Andre Thomas Cobb. Would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, he had him. The defenders came underneath. They tried to bracket up top, but the Blue Dragons' Relaford was beat on the play.
And that play ends the 3rd quarter of this game. Through 3 in Coffeyville. Hutchinson still on top 24/7. Fourth quarter in a minute.
Are you ready for a new phone? How about 4 new iPhones? Switch to NextTech Wireless and get unlimited data for less than $40 per line. You'll save money every month. Plus, our network is awesome. We also have more than 50 store locations to serve you with the best customer care. Get 4 iPhones with unlimited data for less than $40 per month per line at NextTech Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. Phone card required and not included in price.
At Strategic Financial Concepts, we help our clients analyze and understand their financial needs, wants, and desires. We help individuals that want to improve their personal wealth who are near or starting retirement. By helping people recapture unnecessary wealth transfers that many do not realize are occurring, and help them to redeploy those funds. This is Jay Pitzer. Call me at 960-0749 for a cup of coffee and a conversation. Securities offered through the ON Equity Sales Company, member FINRA, SIPC, investment advisory services offered through ON Investment Management Company.
Second down 10 at the Hutchinson 27-yard line. Proctor loads it and throws it behind his receiver. Incomplete. And here's another third down and 10. And those stats, those woeful stats that you talked about third down conversions are likely to get a little bit worse because this Dragon defense has been pretty tough on third and long.
1 of 13 on third down, and now Proctor 6 of 22 with 2 INTs.
That is not getting it done. But opportunity here. Proctor wants to throw, has time, now steps up in the pocket, now gets hit, but releases a pass out in the left flat, and the Dragons stop it for a short gain. He went to his safety valve, Kendrick Jones, and Jones able to get down to about the 20-yard line. It is 3 yards shy of what is needed for a first down, trailing by 17. Coffeyville will go for it. They probably would anyhow. They have disdained several field goal opportunities in this game.
50% on fourth down.
That's not the kind of percentage you look for on fourth down. If you're going for it on fourth down, you ought to be making probably a little better than that. They'll go with the run, and they're going to be able to get a first down at the 16. Well, let's wait and see. They say his knee might have touched a yard or so upfield. I think it's enough for a first down.
Might even be enough for a measurement as the official came right down the 17-yard line, which is the line to gain.
I think he's a little short, guys.
All right, you're on the sideline a lot closer than we are. Our broadcast position, some 85, 90 feet above the field. We are a long ways away.
It is Blue Dragon football on Hutchinson's Country Station, Country 102.9, KHUT, and KWBW, 1450 AM and 98.5 FM, where Hutchinson comes to talk.
And now we're going to see how good those 69-year-old Grunwald eyes are.
Hey.
They're going to stretch it.
That was his way of saying happy belated birthday.
It's just by the nose.
Better see your optometrist.
I did 2 weeks ago. Got a new prescription.
It is a first down, Coffeyville at the Hutchinson 17-yard line. If Coffeyville's going to get back in this game, you just have the feeling they have to score something here.
It has to be now, and you might even be thinking onside kick if you can get points out of this drive.
Proctor hands off, and a running back is upended. Contact way behind the line of scrimmage. Not the slightest bit of an opportunity for that play to develop.
Yeah, Marco Lee got stuffed.
Yeah. He got actually
about 3.
He got lifted off the ground and dumped. Second down at the 20. Got to get to about the 7 for a first down. Dragons threatening blitz. Proctor with time throws, and it is broken up in the end zone. Nice job by the Dragon secondary. It has done a good job in this game. The whole defense has played really well. Glenn, could you see who that was?
Art Green.
He's had...
It was Art. He went up and went right between his hands.
It has been a good job by Art Green. Had that interception late in the first half. Several breakups. 3rd down, 11 at the 20. Proctor gets a low snap, picks it up, and he is going to be swallowed up before he can get rid of it. Loss will be back to the 25-yard line. It'll be 4th and very long.
Tramari Gaines getting in there for his 2nd sack of the game.
So Coffeyville just not able to generate any offense. Red Ravens have been shut out once this year. That won't happen this year. That was by Butler. It was 22-0. They played decently defensively all season long. Did score 50 in a win earlier in the season. Proctor picks up a low snap, has time, and now all of a sudden doesn't have time, and that will end the opportunity. Just couldn't find anybody downfield, and the Dragons finally just swallow him up, and will take over on downs with 12 and a half minutes to go in the football game.
Thought maybe the Red Ravens would go to that play action to try to open up somebody downfield. When they did that, Art Green had the deep ball covered, and as you mentioned there, that's kind of one of those coverage sacks.
Yeah, he had time that time. Dragons have a whole bunch of sacks in this game. All right, once again, and we're scrambling around, and not much.
Jalik Jagway trying to find some room on that, of which there was none.
No, he wound up losing it about 4 or 5 yards. Hutchinson comfortably ahead 24-7 with what has been a subpar offensive performance. We've been bragging about the Dragon defense. Let's be fair and say that the Coffeyville defense has been pretty good as well. Like Randy Dreiling was fond of saying to me, he said, you know, Rusty, both teams get to practice. And the Dragons go with a little bit of misdirection and don't get much out of it. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That was Des Jackson. About maybe his 5th or 6th carry of the game.
Yeah, looking at number 6 there.
And Hutchinson with a 3rd down and 14.
Still 1 of 9 on 3rd down for the Blue Dragons, an area they've struggled. Teams have had a high success rate this year against Coffeyville on 3rd down. Coming in, 5 teams at about a 43% conversion rate. Blue Dragons unable to find that success or match it here tonight.
Well, Hutchinson needs a big play, and there have been precious few of them in this game. He's trying to set up the screen pass, and it is going to work for nothing. Would have been better off to drop it. It's another loss on the play. Again, got it to Jagway. He had no chance to do anything with it. And for the Dragons, it's 4th and a bunch and a punt time.
Brian Murray, I think, saw that one coming before Jagway knew the ball was on its way. Blue Dragons lucky that time to get away with an illegal shift.
So, Mr. Jones will be called upon to punt the Dragons out of trouble. And he has done a nice job of that again. Coffeyville ought to get it somewhere near midfield. Punt's a pretty good one. Oh, I didn't see a fair catch signal. Ball pops loose. Dragons pick it up. And let's see what we're going to have. Now the flag comes out.
Chesterman got there way too early and buried his head in Hernandez's stomach before the ball got there.
The flag came out late.
It came out way late after the hit. That precipitation I talked about coming in tomorrow, well, it's here a little early.
So it is a 15-yard penalty. Yeah, great field position once again for Coffeyville. Now, you guys take those 2 umbrellas that I put in the car?
They're sitting behind us.
Oops.
They're sitting up there. Randy forgot to bring them down here.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what. You do everything you can to get ready.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
We have sent 2 horses to water because they're being watered right now.
Tell Randy he had one job.
Randy, you had one job, and that was to bring the umbrellas.
All right, Proctor, desperate, chase from behind, races for the sideline, pays the price at the 35-yard line. Did a pretty good job of scrambling to get 4.
Jermel Wallflower had a shot at him in the backfield, and he never gave up. Tracked him down all the way to the sideline outside the numbers and got the tackle instead of a sack.
Those 2 umbrellas are pretty effective. I've used both of them this year.
They're good-looking umbrellas.
All right, it is 2nd down after the scramble, about 6 to go. Proctor throws long and can't find an open receiver. Kendrick Jones was open, had a couple of steps on the Hutchinson defender in the left-hand side of the end zone. Passes incomplete, 3rd down. Again, 1 o'clock will be game time for the Blue Dragons next Saturday. Hutchinson will be out west against a Dodge City team that has not been playing well of late. Then it'll be a week off for Hutchinson before the matchup with Garden City. I like the way the schedule plays out with that week off before you play probably the biggest game of the year. Dragons threaten blitz. Coffeyville goes with the run, not nearly enough for Monte Thomas. And it'll be 4th down and long. 4th down and 5. Clock marching down toward 9 minutes to play.
Coach Al Davis down on the sidelines calling the plays down here in place of Coach Rhodes. And I talked to him. I think he likes it down here a little bit.
4th down for Coffeyville. Proctor needs 5, gets a low snap, picks it up, has all kinds of time, now throws, and it is caught for a touchdown. Caught in just inside the end zone on the left side, and Coffeyville right back in this game with a nice throw. Was that number 32, Glenn?
That was Eterius Giles who caught his second touchdown of the game, or of the season.
He was wide open. Rutherford came over, but got there too late.
That was just busted coverage. And for the first time in a while, Proctor had time to look and find his receiver. And all of a sudden, it's a 24-14 game. Still work to be done by the Blue Dragons with 8:44 to play. We'll have the Coffeyville kickoff right after this.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, Hutchinson still with a 10-point lead, guys, but the way Hutchinson has struggled with moving the football, I'm not ready to put this one on the left-hand side of the ledger yet.
Blue Dragons wisely sending out the hands team, anticipating an onside kick here from the Red Ravens.
Red Ravens striking through the air for that touchdown to Eterius Giles.
Remember, it started with that kick-catch interference.
And they'll pound it deep. Returnable, taking it to the 6-yard line, quickly out to the 10, and out to about the 20 and no farther. For the Blue Dragons, on the return, it was Marquise Whitmire. Dragon offense comes on, and they would love to generate a couple of first downs and take some time off this clock. When you come out and you throw and throw and throw and don't complete And not much time comes off. There's still almost 9 minutes to play in this game.
Andrew Lee has just 2 carries in this game, and he's in the backfield with Shucker.
Shucker ready to take the snap. Hands off, and Lee open in the middle of the field, able to get across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Nicely blocked by the Dragons, and a gain of 13 for Andrew Lee.
Got a player down at the 20.
That's Jason Toussaint.
He'll roll over, and not sure if it's a cramp or knee or ankle.
Officials saying, come on out and take a look at him. And now he sits up. And while the Blue Dragons tend to their injured compadre, let's keep it right here. He's up. He's going to be okay. Disdains help, a little gimpy as he walks to the sideline.
Yeah, that's what I look like when I get out of bed and heading for the coffee.
All right.
You're not going to make a comment?
He feels bad about the eye thing, I think.
I actually don't. Glenn just had a birthday, in case you haven't figured it out. He was accused of having it be his 70th, but he quickly subtracted one. So it's 69. It's 69 and holding, is it?
Yeah, it's holding, and that was by the head coach from the Blue Dragons. He sent me a text, wanted to know if it was big 7-0.
All right.
I said no.
All right. Mason Shucker. Hands off, and then another nice gain by Lee, and a flag gets tossed into the middle of the pile, which is pushed out to the 40-yard line by the strong legs of Andrew Lee.
Yeah, big-time face mask on this one.
Could easily be. And if the official saw, as you did, the Blue Dragons will find themselves quickly in Coffeyville country. Yep.
That's the classic twist and turn 15-yard face mask variety.
I'm impressed with your eyes.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're officiating from up here, doing a great job. Why'd you ever give that up?
Well, you know, this broadcasting thing took over, and I realized I no longer had time for both.
Good call. Dragons find themselves at the 44-yard line of the Red Ravens. 8 minutes to play in a football game. Hutchinson leading it 24-14. Dragons had to work hard to win last week, 16-13. Man in motion across the formation, and flags fly, and probably illegal procedure.
Situation where that blitz was coming, and he just got a guy on the line to flinch enough to get it on the Blue Dragons because the Red Ravens were closing in on that neutral zone.
First down, 15, now backed up to the 49.
Just the third penalty on the Blue Dragons.
Yeah, they've been penalty-free for the most part.
You hate that one was that glaring kick-catch interference, though, that led to that last drive.
Yep. First down, 15, back at the 49-yard line. Man in motion across the formation. Shucker back to throw. Throws in the middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
Well,
that was a heck of a shot by the defensive back.
Finally got a perfect throw from Shucker, but an even better shot from the Red Raven defender.
Second down, 15, back at the 49-yard line. 7:21 to go. We'll have high school football for you on Friday night as the Salt Hawks wrap up the regular season with a trip to campus to visit the Colts. Glenn, Coach Knack, and I will be there.
Looking forward to it.
Should be fun. Dragons try to set up the screen, complete the pass, taking it to 50-yard line, and consistently Coffeyville has done a nice job of defending the screen. Khalil McLean picks up a yard or two, leaving a Hutchinson with a third down and 13. I'm looking forward to going to Salina on Thursday night of this week. Good friend of mine, Randy Searing, being inducted into the Kansas Golf Hall of Fame. Outstanding teacher at Salina Country Club. Third and a bunch. Well, we said that a lot in this game. McLean in motion. Snap comes back. The ball hurled toward the sideline. That play looked like confusion from the beginning, and the flag is dropped. The pass is incomplete on the sideline. But it was a free play because Coffeyville was offside, so the Dragons will get to run it again. Play just didn't look like it was drawn up that way.
The Dragons another crack here on a third down. They're 1 of 10 here on the evening.
3rd and 8. The numbers. Dragons taking their time. Play clock inside 5. Shucker takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and gets swallowed up. So make that 1 of 11 on third downs in this game for the Blue Dragons.
Andrew Lee came out to put the block on G. Stanley, and Stanley shirked it pretty quickly and got in on the sack, his 3rd of the season.
Coffeyville down 10, about to get the ball back. Matt Jones will try to punt it down inside the 20, as he does so very well. Gets a good snap, gets the punt off, and a fair catch signal made at the 13-yard line. So Jones does his job, but Coffeyville has the ball back. It is doable for the Red Ravens. They trail by 10 with 6 minutes and 1 second to play.
I'd say that last drive did a lot to boost the confidence of Proctor. He'd been struggling all game long, and all of a sudden, yeah, he's 8 for 26, but he feels like he's hit a little bit of a hot streak.
It is a first down at the 13. Ravens need 10 to get the game tied. They'll start with a sweep to the right side and a gain of about 4 or 5 on the carry by Darius Hopkins. Let's call it 4 yards, maybe not even quite 4. Coffeyville's Red Ravens don't have to fight the clock hugely, but they've got to score twice. Got a long ways to go, and we're down to 5.5 to play. Proctor drops back, steps up. Now we'll run with it. A flag flies, and back to the line of scrimmage, perhaps, is Carson Proctor. I think we're going to have a hold.
It is on Camden Schultz, 58 in the backfield. Didn't want to give up the sack.
So the penalty will take the ball from the 18-yard line back inside the 10. It'll be half the distance. And it will be 2nd and about 14. Let's see where they put it. They're going to put it at the 8. Let's call it 2nd down and 15. 5:25 to go. And Coffeyville goes to work. Dragon pressure comes up the middle. Proctor rolls away, gets dragged down at the 1. Dragons want a safety, but Proctor was at the 1 when contact was made.
Great job by Monty Montgomery getting in there. The pressure came so quickly that Proctor had Jones on the outside if he wanted him, but he didn't have enough room to release the ball.
Yeah, they showed his forward progress to about the 1. Monty Montgomery thought he had a safety, but snuck away from him.
They got the call right. But it is 3rd and a whole lot. And that has been the theme of this football game for both teams. Now the ball unloaded over the middle, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down, and Coffeyville will be punting out of its end zone with 4:40 to go. Blue Dragons have been continuing to win, but have not been able to run away from people in this conference. I think people are starting to realize that this conference doesn't have any bad teams in it. every team is capable of giving you a war on any given Saturday.
Yeah, the records may not look the shiniest or the greatest, but you're exactly correct. They can give you a battle.
Now the Dragons have two people back to handle this punt out of the end zone, and they won't have the opportunity because it bounces out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Guys, I think that's the first time we've seen two safeties back.
Well, and if you're the punter for Coffeyville, you absolutely want to keep that ball in play, knowing how much the Blue Dragons have struggled in the punt return game. A couple of muffs and another turnover on a third punt.
So the Blue Dragons will have it at the 37-yard line, 4:32 to go. Any kind of score here, well, let's say a touchdown right here would effectively end this game. Dragon lead is 10 with 4:32 to go, and the ball at the 37 of Coffeyville. And the Dragons keep it on the ground on first down and get nothing. And the thinking right here is Coffeyville needs a couple of scores, and if the Dragons do nothing more than kill a couple of minutes off that clock, it's almost impossible. So it is second down and 10 or 11 to go for the Dragons. Shucker hands off. Andrew Lee takes what he can on a little slant to the left. Got back the yard that was lost on first down and picks up a couple more.
Flores will go ahead and take a timeout to stop the clock here.
3:48 remains. 24-14. We'll take a break.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Well, Blue Dragons shaken up on the play as Andrew Lee, and guys, the Dragons are getting short of running backs. He's
going to be okay.
Yeah, he's going off the field. In fact, he's jogging off the field. With Collins out and with normal contributor for the Blue Dragon, Jonathan White, out, Dragons got to hang tough at that spot.
You've seen a lot more of Bolus this evening, and he hasn't been very effective in his opportunities.
All right. Third down. Dragons need 8. Mason Shucker, hands off. Dragons go left and cut it back toward the middle of the field and get down to the 30-yard line, leaving a 4th down and 3. And we're going to have another timeout taken, I believe. Coffeyville spending its second timeout. 3:36 remains. The Dragons are 4th down and 3. And we'll see what transpires when we come back in half a minute.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
4th down and 3 for the Blue Dragons. Coffeyville now down to 1 timeout. Ravens have to have at least 2 possessions to have a chance in this game as they trail 24-14.
Like the chances for Desmond Jackson to get the first down on this 4th and 3.
He's had a couple of touchdowns. He'll get a chance, and he is close. I think this may bring a measurement. Glenn, we're going to give you another opportunity.
Yeah, I'm down at Here, I'll come down and take a look. By the way, my sideline report's brought to you by Jackson Meat, 13 West 6th. And they got that first down, I believe. Yep, they'll move the chains.
It was that ability to turn and back up into Sam Ryan, that extra little push that just gave him enough.
So the Blue Dragons go back to work on the clock with 3:20 to play. Coffeyville has only one timeout left. Blue Dragons should be able to take some significant time off here. I would be stunned to see the Dragons throw it.
Well, timeout's going to be taken.
This timeout taken by the Blue Dragons. 3:09 to go, 24-14 Hutch. We're coming right back.
Big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
Gentlemen, the odds on a pass play occurring in the next 3 downs.
If I were calling the plays, which I'm not, I would go ahead and try to run this thing and get Coffeyville to use its final 2 timeouts. But if you think you can catch a defense sleeping, you might try to take a shot. I just know Shucker has struggled finding his mark tonight.
Coffeyville actually with just 1 timeout left. So here we go. Dragons trying to put finishing touches on win number 7. They'll do it with a give to Jackson, and Jackson picking up nice yardage, pushing the pile. He has 7 yards. It's like a scrum. And Jackson will get credit all the way down to the 19-yard line. A lot of good blocking in front of him, and a gain of 8 on first down. That is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Good things have come when he goes over 100 yards. The Blue Dragons 3-0 in his games of 100-plus. Already over 140 tonight.
Had that 90-yard run in the first half for a touchdown. High snap, pulled down by Shucker, gives to Jackson. Jackson battling, should have a first down near the 17-yard line.
It's going to be short a little bit.
Yeah, they are going to say about a half-yard shot.
Yeah, third and about a half yard.
2 minutes to play in this football game. Football game that has been played, considering the number of incomplete passes we've had in this game, it's been played pretty rapidly. Dragons won't snap it until it's play clock's inside 5. Now they're ready. Another high snap, another handoff. Jackson has a first down at the 16-yard line, and that should do it for Hutchinson. We'll see whether the Dragons try to score or not. They have pretty much, with that first down, wrapped up this football game. These teams with a lot of respect for each other. May very well be that the Dragons will be content to just make sure that the remaining 80 seconds or so tick away with no damage. Hutchinson leading 24-14. This will be the 10th win for Hutchinson in the last 11 games in this series. And Dragons will take a knee, as I suspected. They'll have to do that at least once, maybe twice more. And then this game will come to, Coffeyville's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, don't leave any in the bank, right?
Yeah. All right. That'll give us one more opportunity to hear from these friends of Blue Dragon football. We're back in 30 seconds.
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112. Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
All right, the timeout froze the clock at 60 seconds. Dragons will probably take a knee again, which they will. Coffeyville can't stop it now. And one more snap by the Blue Dragons will ensure win number 7 of the football season. And I think the Blue Dragons guys will be happy with the win, but also happy to have Coach Rhodes back on the sidelines next Saturday.
Happy on both of those accounts. Not so happy about what happened in the special teams, especially the punting game, and maybe looking to clean up some passing game as well. Only 2 times did this team convert on third down.
Third down in 15, but it won't matter. This snap will end the game. And that'll do it. The final seconds will tick away, and Hutchinson will make the long trip to southeast Kansas a success as Hutchinson comes away with the win, 24-14. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with postgame.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
The Rothy family
Southeast Kansas, and just simply take care of business. Got the evening started with a 90-yard touchdown run by Des Jackson for the first points of the game. Jackson was to get a later touchdown, also down the sideline, and the Blue Dragons wind up leading all the way in this game. Actually, it was tied at 7, but the Dragons immediately answered with a touchdown to make it 14-7. Got the pick 6 by Montgomery right before the end of the first half. It was 21-7 at the break at the end of the first half. And Hutchinson scored first in the second half, a field goal. Coffeyville got a touchdown, but it wasn't nearly enough. And the Blue Dragons, in a game in which the offense struggled, never really were threatened in terms of the outcome in this game. And for the 7th time in 8 games, the Blue Dragons come away with a win. Hutchinson now down to the game at Dodge City, then the game against Garden City after a bye week, and then the final game of the regular season at Iowa Central. Dragons still with a shot, perhaps, at earning a berth in the national championship game. Things would have to break right for them. They are ranked number 4 in the country. Number 3 won today and won impressively. So the Dragons certainly won't move up in the polls unless somebody in the top 2 spots got beaten. We know Iowa Western number 2 didn't, so that leaves it up to Eastern Mississippi. And that's a league down there where there are only a couple of really good teams, and I don't think Eastern Mississippi has any more really tough games to play. So I suspect they will stay number 1. But nevertheless, a success for the Blue Dragons. And when you come to Coffeyville and you get a win, you best appreciate it. Darren, your thoughts on what we just saw?
Well, really thought the third down conversion game was going to be a lot different because the Blue Dragons have been decent at it throughout the season, and a lot of the good teams that have played Coffeyville this year, even some of the bad ones, have been really good converting third downs. For the Blue Dragons, not the case, only convert twice, but rely heavily on that game of Desmond Jackson. I say heavily, he only toted the ball 10 times. But good for 153 yards, and he started the night off right with that 90-yard run. And every time he's gone over 100 yards this year, the Blue Dragons have won. Now 4-0 when he goes for 100+.
Dragon running game was the story. We'll be giving you a lot more details in the Medicine Shop game capsule a little bit later on. Now, we will obviously not be able to talk with Hutchinson coach Ryan Rhodes, who was suspended for this game and could not be at the stadium. We hope to have a visit with interim coach Josh Gooch, also the athletic director at Hutchinson Community College. How soon he'll be able to get over here, I am not sure. Again, next week, the Dragons at Dodge City, a Dodge City team that was badly beaten on a trip to Iowa today, 58-7, the final there. So Dodge City will be eager to prove that they are better than they showed on this Saturday. And Hutchinson will also be trying to sort out some problems with the kicking game, and not so much the actual kicking game, but the receiving of punts in specific. And the Dragons also trying to get that offense operating a little bit more efficiently. Darren, I've thought that in most of the games the Dragons have played this year, maybe the offense not extremely productive, but pretty efficient.
Pretty efficient in the way of keeping Mason Shucker rather clean. I know he was pressured more than he had been all season. Last game against Highland, he really didn't let it affect his game. We've seen over the course of the last 2 or 3 games receivers having trouble hanging onto the ball, but tonight it was squarely on Shucker's shoulders. He just was unable, for whatever reason, to find his mark and finishes up 10 for 22. And unfortunately with that pick, only the 3rd time this season he throws for under 100 yards.
Yeah, all of his successes, obviously, when you talk about 10 completions for less than 100 yards, he didn't have much success looking downfield.
Yeah, when he was looking downfield, he was throwing to a spot he thought the receiver was going to be, and the receiver never got there. Now, unfortunately for him, he was not on the mark on the short throws either. A lot of times you can get a quarterback going by getting those dump-off passes underneath and getting those quick hits across the middle of the field, and he just wasn't on the mark on any of those either.
It was a game typified by a lot of punts. There were 20 of them in this game. Blue Dragon punter Matt Jones, 9, averaging 39. Nathan Maylock for Coffeyville, 11 punts, also averaging 39. 24-14 was the final. Let's go ahead and close out the game portion of our broadcast. Stay with us. We'll be talking to interim coach Josh Gooch when we return.
And that concludes another exciting game of Hutchinson Community College sports. The Brophy Family Flooring, Erickson Custom Building, H&R Block, Prairie Star Health Center, The Medicine Shop, Ashcraft Pharmacy, Reno County Area Transit, RCAT, Next Tech Wireless, Midwest Ford and Toyota, The Bag Lady, Strategic Financial Advisor Jay Pitzer, and these Sportscaster Club members, Man Wyatt and Rice LLC, A&A Builders, Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, Wade Patton Insurance, Sutton Kaufman Transmission, Bold Office Chairs, Mid-America Youth Basketball, MAYB. Stay tuned. Our chat with the Blue Dragons head coach is coming up next on Eagle Radio. It's time for the Coaches Show as we take a look back at today's game from the viewpoint of the Blue Dragons head coach. The Coaches Show on Eagle Radio is brought to you by Cooper Tire. Our chat with Ryan Rhodes comes up after this timeout.
Where are you going? Oh, I have so much to do today. Sally has soccer practice, then music lessons. In between, I'm picking up Tommy at school, then to baseball practice at Boy Scouts.
My goodness.
Driving my kids everywhere is starting to drive me crazy. I think I'm driving my tires off my car.
I can help you with that. Take your car to Cooper Tire. They're always honest about the condition of your tires. They won't sell you something you don't need.
This is Craig Cooper. We can't chauffeur your kids everywhere, but we can give you the confidence that your tires will. Cooper Tire Service in Hutchinson since 1951 and Pratt since 1989.
Well, we are joined by Josh Gooch, the athletic director at Hutchinson Community College, who probably never expected to be coaching football again. What was it like?
You know, Rusty, it was rewarding, you know, to be back around the student athletes on a more regular basis. But in all honesty, I'm glad it's over with, and I just enjoy the job that I have. I love my position. I mean, I tell you that all the time, and we have great coaches. I don't need to be stepping in for them, and that was a difficult situation. That what a big tip of the cap to our coaching staff. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not around it to call offense or defense, and those assistant coaches got it done.
Well, Coach, at times the game was not very efficient on the offensive side of the football, but this defense has been terrific all season long, and it was once again tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think opportunistic would be a great word. You know, every team we face, I know Coach Rhodes says this each and every week, but every team is good. They're filled with great players from around the country, and it's good. It's tough to find yards. It really is, and our defense has done a good job of you know, really just, you know, being a very, very opportunistic defense. I mean, just the scores they had today, but you're right on. You hit it on the head. You know, you have, you know, times in the game where it's tough to move it, but then, you know, you give up a score, you come back and get one. You know, you hit it on the head too when you talked about it being a punting game. It was a field position game. Do a good job of changing the field position. There was a time there where they had the field position flipped for quite some time in the game, and I was just trying to tell them, hey, just encourage them, go out and get another stop.
Yeah, that first half particularly, you know, you led, but the game was being played on the Hutchinson half of the field.
It was, and we were fortunate. One of the times we were down there, we ended up, you know, able to get a turnover and get a score when we finally got the field flip. But it was down in our territory. The defense was having to, you know, be creative and get stops, and no different than anything else. They have good offensive players too, good backs, good quarterback, big O-line. I mean, they're a good team. You know, I just feel like, you know, our guys responded to coaching, and when your head coach is not down there actively coaching, that's a big difference. That's why everybody's so appreciative of what Ryan Rhodes does. Yeah. And so whenever he's missing, there's a big key cog missing, but the other coaches stepped in and encouraged those guys to keep at it.
I'm not sure that you are the right person for me to be asking, but the Dragons having some problems on punt returns. Even went to a couple of safeties out there on the last punt. Neither one of them had a chance to handle it because the ball was kicked out of bounds. But that's been a source of concern for Coach Rhodes all season long.
Yeah, and we actually, he and I and some other, we talked about it, about putting two returners back there to make sure we filled it, not giving them, you know, opportunity to again flip the field. But I think they're always working on those type things. I don't get to watch every game at home. You know, seems like I'm busy. I miss a lot of those type things. When I go on the road and get to watch a game, I get to see more of that. So I'm sure they'll address that and they'll continue to work on it. I think one of the things they have good schemes. They just got to execute the things put out there.
Des Jackson, a couple of timely runs for the Dragons, the first 90 yards. Then he had one about 40 yards later on in the game. He's capable of getting you yardage in big chunks.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just how good did that feel to, you kind of get a lead, a long run like that. The defense for them, you know, was demoralized a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, he what do you have, 10 carries, 153 yards. So
yeah, he wasn't overworked.
No, wasn't overworked, but he was productive, and it is fun to watch him get out there and run. And it just lifts the whole team when those type plays are made. It lifts the spirit. I mean, think about for you as calling the game in the radio booth. You're encouraged by that. I mean, it's encouraging to us down in the coaching booth.
Coach, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and take a peek ahead at another big game in the Jayhawk a week from this afternoon. We'll be out at Dodge City for a 1 o'clock game. We'll do that when we come back.
Hi, this is Craig Cooper of Cooper Tire Service. You don't hire your yard man to give you a haircut, you don't go to the vet to get a physical, and you don't go to your corner one-stop shop for everything store to get tires. You go to a professional. When you need tires, come to the professionals at Cooper Tire. With our decades of experience and knowledge, we'll get you the right tire at the right price for your driving needs, all with your safety in mind. Cooper Tire Service, still going strong in Hutchinson since 1951 and Pratt since 1989.
Josh, that he thinks there's probably 200 players in this conference that at one time or another will play Division I football. That gives you an idea of the talent level. Now, next week, the Blue Dragons go to Dodge City to play a team that was beaten 58-7 on a trip to Iowa. They'll be interested in showing that they're a lot better than that.
Certainly. I mean, Dodge City, think about it. They 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they took Butler to overtime, and really, you know, they had the ball at the 5-yard line, a chance to win. You know, a week ago, you know, they beat Coffeyville. And so, again, They did. They had a long road trip up to Iowa, and Iowa Central put it on them. Iowa Central, again, is another good team that we play, not in our conference. But, Coach Rhodes has a good team. They've recruited well, and he has a strong portion of those players that are going to have a chance to play Division I, when they're done in the junior college ranks. So, we'll get home, clean up the mistakes. I know their staff will meet tomorrow, clean up the mistakes, and get healed up, and then, go out to Dodge. And Dodge is going to be excited. Coach Woody talked about the bullseye on our chest. I mean, you take the number 4 team into Dodge City, they'll make some excitement. Those kids will play at their peak level. They always do. And so that's a strong challenge for them to be ready each and every week.
It goes without saying, a Saturday in the Jayhawk, you're going to have to play well.
You bet. You're going to have to play well and execute in all 3 phases, or you can get beat on any week. So, this team can take a lot of pride as they head back to Hutch, with the number 4 ranking, come over to Coffeyville without, their head coach, and put together a good ball game. In any game, I mean, it can go any which way. You don't know when the ball's kicked off. You don't know how it's going to go. But for them to execute and perform and beat a good Coffeyville team, that's something they can take a lot of pride in.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, how's the knee? Still have surgery planned?
I do have. I'm going to have a knee replacement. I'm really waiting. Insurance always kind of gets you to think if you're going to have it in December or January. But I'm going to have my knee replaced, and it'll help me. It'll help me through basketball season and the baseball and softball in the spring and track. So certainly, it's going to have it done.
I want to congratulate you on one more thing.
Okay.
Have you ever had an unbeaten season as a football coach?
I have never had an unbeaten season. What I wanted to do was, you get presented this number 4 ranked team. I wanted to present it back to him with at least that ranking, so I don't want to mess it up.
All right, Coach. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Rusty.
Comments of Hutchinson coach Josh Gooch. Filling in for Ryan Rhodes tonight. We'll take a final break, still in the Coaches Show, and be back to wrap things up.
So, Craig, what are you giving away today? What do you mean? Well, buy a car, get a cruise, buy a washer-dryer, get a weekend in Vegas. I need new tires. What are you going to give me when I buy them? What we give you is the best service, the best product at competitive prices, and a follow-up service that can't be beat. Free inspections, free balance, free rotation, all for the life